my life doing random things.
Mm-hmm.
I
Sorry.
spent so much of my life doing, I don't know, kind of going with the flow of things and
Mm-hmm.
seeing, putting myself where I fit in. Like, I'm good at sales. I'm going to get a retail job. I'm
Right.
great with people. I'm going to get a customer service job.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't until I became a mother that I was like, no, 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 no.
Right.
This is
Everything
what this is what I'm
matter.
supposed
Right.
to do. Like, I'm
I love
supposed to,
that.
yeah, like everything else was to prepare me to do this.
Right, right.
And even when it's hard, I still love it. Even when I'm tired, I still love it. No matter what,
I
absolutely
love
love it. That's
that.
it. I love it.
I love that. And you, did you always know that you wanted to be a mom, or this was kind of like a meh, kind of thing that you thought about after, like, you know?
I think I always wanted to be a mom,
Hmm.
but I think I was also afraid of some of those things that are associated with motherhood,
Yeah.
specifically and particularly giving birth.
Hmm.
Because I won't speak for anybody else, but like me, I never broke any bones. I never got super sick. I never was admitted in the hospital, like in my whole life.
Hmm.
So being a mom is something I always wanted, but I always had like an ongoing fear of all the things that could happen to me in pursuit of that goal.
Right, right, right.
So really, it's always been there, but at a certain point in my life, the fear of pregnancy became superseded with my want for children.
Yeah. That's
And
how I
that's
feel. Like I don't have any kids for everybody who's listening. I have no children yet,
even
but
though you're a phenomenal mom. I can't wait for you to have
thank
kids.
you.
You're gonna be so good.
I'm gonna be listen, my babies. I hope I got enough money because if they anything like me, Jesus. But
Please,
that's
you're
my one
amazing. You're
fear.
just looking for your Prince Charming. You're absolutely amazing. I'd be so happy to have a kid like you.
Oh my God, thank you. She's so sweet. But no, that's the one thing that I'm scared of. Like I'm scared of the labor part because child, when I have cramps, I'm like
I
dying.
mean, you scared. You have your mother. How you gonna be
But
scared with your mother by yourself?
she's gonna tell me to calm the fuck down. But it's just like just sitting there knowing the agony and the pain and like when I watch some of the videos of how the girls be looking, like y'all be looking like y'all going through it.
The pain's not that bad.
Really?
Well,
Catherine, don't
I'm
tell
only
me.
gonna say it from a. No, I should. I probably should just be saying that, flying off the wall. No, it's a matter of opinion, and I think everyone is different.
Mm,
But the pain is not that bad because you get something for it.
right.
And that thing you get for it, when you
Hmm.
see that thing, you're
Hmm.
almost like, was it even that painful?
Right. Not really.
Go through that again if I get another one of these.
Right.
So
Like you
it's
it's
like
with
that. It's like
yeah.
that. So that's why I say it's not painful.
Okay.
Like theoretically, it's not painful.
I hope not. But we'll see when the time comes. So
And
what's
even still, like I said,
one
you have your mother. She's gonna make it so much better for
I
you.
have a whole team lined up. Like I told even some of her friends, I was like, hey, hey, out of retirement. When it's my time, I need all y'all to come out of retirement. Come on, I need all
Come on,
bring it back,
indeed.
bring it in. But that's, we'll see what happens. And if maybe next year, a few years, who knows? But whatever.
Few years.
And we don't know.
Well, we're just waiting for him. He's there though.
We're just waiting for him. That's it. So the
So
next question is, what's the one thing you've learned about yourself since becoming a mother? That you probably didn't realize that you always was always there, but your kids just brought it out of you. Like,
I am in charge of my own destiny.
amen.
Nobody can manifest anything for me
Hmm.
but me.
I like that.
And the world building that's required to be a parent,
Hmm.
it requires that level of confidence. You have to know that what you're doing is right. And even when it's not right, you have to know that you're doing it because you want to do the right thing for your children.
I love.
So I don't know, being a mom kind of it just clears things up. I don't know if it make sense. Like for all the madness, once those kids are in front of you, it's like, wow, that's literally the whole thing. These kids, I'm supposed to
Right.
create a world for them that was better than the world that I had for myself,
Hmm.
and I have to be willing to sacrifice everything to do that.
And you're willing to do it, like with no
And I'm
problem.
willing to do it because I'm going to manifest a good
Right.
destiny for them.
Right. Oh, I love
Oh my
that.
God, Michelle,
Good.
I have a patient. I'm so
Okay.
sorry.
Go ahead. Do what you got to do.
I'm gonna go and I'll be
Okay.
back.
No
Keep
problem.
going.
Yep. So if you're just joining us right now, so we're talking about being a mom, and it's for the moms, talking about how great is it to be a mom. And of course, we're going to get to the other parts about struggling to be a mom and how hard it could be. But for the most part, I just know that I don't know. One day I do want to get there. I want to get there. I want to be a mom. I always said I wanted to be a mom to like 4 kids, but we'll see because I can make my own plans, but we'll see what God says. God gonna be like, all right, hold this 2 and I'm gonna just let you be. Or maybe just hold 1 and then that's all you're gonna get from me. But we'll see. Time is ticking, but people are having kids in their 40s. So what am I really worried about? Right? That's kind of how I see it now. Cause like what am I really worried about? But nonetheless, we're waiting for more people to show up. And I have like a bunch of moms that are coming, but of course, it's 5 o'clock. I choose to do this at 5 o'clock when everybody's probably on their way home. But I kind of figured if I did anything later, you have to like attend to the kids. So while you have this one little hour possibly to yourself, why not? But yeah, we'll just wait around for the moms to come in. They're all texting me like, I'm coming. Don't hang up. I'm coming. I'm coming. And if you're joining on the live on IG, you can answer the questions too. How is it being a mother? How do you love being a mother? Who's on the IG? Which was I almost dropped it. Cassandra. Hey girl. Being a mother. I'm gonna pin like all the comments so that way everyone can just answer it. But yeah, so why I chose to be a mom while we wait for everybody else to come, why I chose to want to be a mom. I said wanted to be a mom. Why I chose, why I'm choosing to want to have children is I want to continue, I guess, like kind of want my children to be a better version of myself. And I feel like I've seen so many moms, like even my mom do it, like where they just become a better version of themselves after having their kids. And not to say like only children can bring that out of you, but I feel like when you become a mom, you're just like nothing matters. Like it's you, your kids, obviously your husband or your wife, no matter, whatever. But it's like you feel complete almost. And not to say that you don't feel complete when you're not and you don't have you don't have any children because some people just truly honestly don't want kids. And if you don't want kids, that's okay too. No one's saying that you have to. You could be the super auntie, you could be the super uncle, you could be the super godmother. Like it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have children just because. But I've always said like the one thing that I do want to do is become a mom. And I'm so happy that I didn't become a mom at 25. Like I said to myself, like I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be a mom at 25. I'm gonna have like 3 kids. And after I have my 3 kids, I'm going to get married. Or I was gonna get married and then I was gonna have my 3 kids. Like I had this whole plan set up in my head about like how I'm going to have like how it's all gonna work out in my head. But God sometimes be putting things in motion and God be like, yeah, I ain't gonna happen. Sorry. Not working for you. And we have another guest, my Shizay.
I
She
can't hear.
Why can't you hear
Let me turn
anything?
my computer up.
Can you hear me now?
Shelly,
I can hear you.
hi.
Hi.
I'm so sorry for my tardiness, everybody.
Okay.
Like,
Everybody's tardy. It's okay. You're doing mom shit. It's all right.
I just literally just came back from Taekwondo with this
See?
child of mine.
You see what I mean? Where's my nephew at? What he doing?
He just went outside the house to play across the street with his kid. I said his
You
kid, but
see, the kids are doing kid things,
the
playing
little boy across the
outside,
street.
not just on their freaking phones and tablets all day. But Hey Shay, how you doing, girl?
Because you know James always got his in his face.
I know all of them have it in their face. All of them. You can't even like snap your finger without them getting upset. Like, why are you disturbing me? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I just needed your attention real quick.
I had to tell him one day. He said, "Why are you going through my phone?" I said, "Because I
Oh,
paid a bill."
not why you going through my phone. You know
Yes, he
what?
did. I was like, "Ooh."
Well, Catherine was already here. She's going in and out because she's at work still. But
Oh
she answered
no,
the first two questions. What happened?
the
Oh,
bottle
she
from
answered
the
the first
liquor.
two questions. It's okay. How is it being a mother? What happened? Oh,
It's
because you
beautiful. It's
know.
hectic though. It's. I ain't gonna lie. You know what?
Mm-hmm.
It's fun,
Mm-hmm.
but it's hectic
Yeah.
and tiring.
Mm-hmm.
But especially if you do it by yourself.
Yes. I can
You know what
understand.
I mean? Like if there's a two partner, then it might be some
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
equalizing, with responsibility. But when it's just one,
Mm-hmm. Nah,
but I technically have my mom and my auntie,
right.
as my step-in. So I will say that I do have help. And I'm not doing it 100% by myself, but it becomes a lot,
Mm-hmm.
being a person to make sure everything is taken care of.
Yeah. But you also you're doing a good job. You're doing a real good job at it. I know it's like it's definitely hard. It looks like it can be a challenge, but especially like the conversations that we have, which I ain't gonna tell y'all, but the conversations that we have, like it can be difficult and can be daunting as well. But you're doing your damn thing. So I always tell you I'm proud of you.
You
Um
see? I appreciate
so
that.
what's the one thing you've learned about yourself since becoming a mom?
I'm resilient.
You what?
Can I curse?
You what?
Can I curse?
What?
I'm gonna say a curse word, but I'm gonna say it in the nicest form ever.
Oh Lord.
I am that Pilates.
And you
Okay.
better say it loud and proud. You better say it because you are.
Excuse me, mother, for this one, but I'm that bitch.
Excuse me, mom. Period. Period. Because you
Um,
handle it.
Let me tell you something. I have realized like strength,
Mm-hmm.
emotion wise,
Mm-hmm.
I am emotional,
Mm-hmm.
but I fight myself a lot because I'm like, I can't be too emotional because I gotta hold it together because I can't like let myself break,
Mm-hmm.
I get to those points, but I'm doing this mommy thing.
Yeah, you are. You
I
are
will say that I
definitely.
am doing this mommy thing for
You are.
sure.
You definitely are.
For sure.
So we're gonna get in. I mean, we're gonna start like really light with the questions. We're not gonna get too deep, too yet. Like not yet, but we getting there. How did you and your child's father meet?
Ah, through his brother, actually. I
Mhm.
was good friends with his brother. And
Okay.
I had met him through there. I'm about to switch over to this side of the table for him.
Mhm.
I'm just shifting my camera this way.
I'm gonna go ahead and say
Get
hi.
up and come
This is
sit
Catherine. Just
down.
wanted to say hi again.
Catherine popped back in.
Hola.
I know you can hear my machine in the background. I'm gonna go back on mute. Sorry.
Okay.
Hi. Hi.
So this is the
But
reality
yes,
of being a mom. Is the reality.
I met him through his brother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it wasn't no fancy love story or anything like that. Oh, I was at a bar, or I was at, a fair. And, no, it was not a nice fair. Okay. Met him through his brother. It was that. Regular.
Regular. Nothing crazy.
Regular.
Did you plan for the for James, because you have one adorable stinkabutt James. Did you guys plan it, or was it more like a oops?
I had spoke about wanting
Mm-hmm.
a child. But I knew like around that time, like I wasn't sure if I actually would be able to get pregnant.
Yeah.
And actually he came home from jail and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, God gave me the greatest gift on
God
earth.
said, "Hey, here you go. Welcome
He gave
home."
me the greatest gift on earth, you know. That was There was some little discrepancies, you know, in the beginning. He
Mm-hmm.
wasn't ready. I was like, this is my miracle child, and I'm keeping him and da 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 da. You know, so we had some friction there, but you know, he did agree after a while, like, all right, well, if we're gonna do this, then we're gonna do this.
Yeah.
Duh, of course. Like, it wasn't
He
going
was
no
in
other
it though.
way.
He was just like, "All right, cool, let's go." Of
That's
course
a
he would be.
fact.
He wasn't, trying to hear. He didn't want to hear your mouth. I know that. So he was like, "Yeah, sure." Oh, Jesus, my allergies. Sorry. How did cheers? You just got out of work, so just out of work, just out of taekwondo. So yes, a big cheers. Um, I'm
And I'm
drinking.
going walking at 7.
What you said?
I'm saying I'm going walking at 7.
And she's going for her walk. She's getting her steps in. Look at that. But how did you plan or thought having your first child would be like? Like, did you knowing that it wasn't, well, yeah, things happen, but then like how did you once you found out that you were pregnant, how was the planning? Like it was strategic or you was just going with the wind or
Um, I kind of want to say it was just kind of, I was just going with the flow of things. You know, of course I had concerns and stuff, and I would ask questions like, you know, well, how is it like? You know, it was like about maybe the 5th month, reality actually really set in. You know,
Mhm,
it's like once you actually get the bump and
mhm.
you actually see it there, it's like, oh yeah, you really about to be a mom.
Oh,
Like,
for real.
there's
This
no
is
going back from that. You know,
right.
so of course you have concerns because the first concern is, you know, how will I be as a mom? And, you know, how do I prepare to be a mom? And honestly, there's really no way you can prepare.
Mhm.
You know, I know people say, oh, well, we got to get ready, or we got to have this and we have to have that. Or I want to have this amount of money saved, or I want to make sure I have, you know, a house in place. And I want to make, you know, people have their way of preparing, but I honestly feel like the most naturalist way to receive it is to just
Just
kind
do
of
it.
just let it go for what it is, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. I mean, in the process of all of this stuff, of course you want to try to take certain steps to
Mhm.
make sure that you have it in place, you know. So but sorry, talking about child's father, that's my sperm donor right now.
Oh, Donna.
Excuse me, y'all. But you want to make sure you are taking those steps in the process of everything, you know, like just making sure you're taking your vitamins, definitely 100%. You know,
Mhm.
and try eating right. I'm not gonna lie, I pigged down on pizza so bad. That's probably why I'm fat now. And I'm not gonna hold y'all. I was really upset. That was my craving. Like I was straight pizza.
Pizza, pizza,
Food
pizza.
wise, health wise,
Mhm.
I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't eating carrots and salad. But I definitely want to say, yeah, pizza was my go-to.
Mhm.
But everything else at one point, you know, making sure you're staying on top of doctor appointments, you know,
Right.
prenatals, just making sure you're doing everything you're supposed to do, lots of water.
Mhm.
Um, you know, I was still active. I was working still, to be honest with you. I
Mhm.
think I didn't go out of work until like maybe what, 7th or 8th? No, my 8th month actually, because my doctor told me I needed to sit down.
Mhm.
I was retaining a lot of fluid.
Mhm.
So I went out at the 8th month and that was that.
And then
But I just went with the flow, you know, and I'm not gonna lie, I had a cool pregnancy.
mhm.
I had a really cool pregnancy, very supportive, you know, family members, you know, friends and everything like that. So
Right.
it was definitely worth it.
That's good. At least you had like a village with you where you were able to get you through it.
Yeah.
And the fact that yeah, James's dad was very, he was attentive to you and helping you out in the whole pregnancy because you don't get that a lot. You don't get a lot of people who will do men who would do that. They'll just, okay, you're pregnant, all right, you got this.
He was
So She
attention. He
mouthing
was
stuff to me.
partially
She really just,
attention.
right. She's saying, but she's just, not saying. But yeah, he did his thing. He was okay. He did.
It was, I had to kind of put hands and feet a little bit. I had to wring neck. I had to be annoying, but
And I think
you
that's
got it.
sometimes people just like they don't understand sometimes. Like I'm speaking just from what I see and what I've like saw other people do. It's just like I think they just really don't think like, do you realize I'm carrying a whole human? The way my emotions and hormones and everything is just
Mhm.
in a certain, like, pay attention, get it together. When I say something, just do it, sir.
You want to know what's funny though? I didn't get a lot of the pregnancy, sickness and stuff like that. He did.
Really? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
What?
I didn't get the vomiting. I didn't get the excessive sleeping.
Wow.
I mean, I want to say the most I got, was the tenderness of the boobs
Mm-hmm.
and just hungry. But he got hungry, tired, vomiting, headaches. I was like, well, who the one that's actually pregnant over here? Like, I was okay. I thought I was pretty fine.
Right. But damn,
But
he
I
didn't
didn't
even know that
realize that was
happened.
actually the thing.
I didn't know that was a thing either.
It is though. And
That
I was like, oh, it's kind of interesting. I didn't,
that's
I
crazy.
didn't know that can actually happen.
I never knew that either. I didn't. Well, I guess well, maybe the universe trying to play some games. Like you see now, I'm gonna let you feel this too. But we have both
I
single
mean, well,
moms. You said what? You said
that's a good look. Thank you,
right.
universe.
Thank you, universe.
They gotta feel something good. Let me tell you
Right.
something.
We can't be the only ones feeling everything.
Carrying.
But so we have single moms and we have moms who are in a relationship. But for you, Shay, being a single mom, when did and if you don't have to say in detail, say what you feel, say how, whatever you want to say. When did everything change? Like, did you see the signs beforehand and ignore them when things started to go left with you and your child's father?
It was going left before my son was born. I
Okay.
seen it, and I knew I was mentally telling myself, you might be doing this by yourself. So, get ready, but leave the open option. If they choose to really, step in and do what's supposed to be done. But I was already kind of putting myself in position to be a single mom. Yeah.
How did you feel emotionally after you like kind of had that in your mind? Like, damn.
At first, I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot. It's
Mm-hmm.
almost kind of like, like why? Why did I get myself in this position if it was gonna be like this? But you can't ask that question why. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I always took it as God is probably either testing your strength
Right.
and testing your, so you gotta just, try to keep your head up and just I I don't know. I mean, I can't say for everybody because I don't know how everybody does it, but I know how I do it. Just praying about a lot of things and just, just trusting God with everything that I'm doing because I still don't know how I'm doing it,
Yeah.
honestly.
You guys take it like one day at a time with everything else. It's just like
A lot. They really are. And when as they're getting older and they get to that stage where it's now you got competitive sports you gotta enter them into, plus now you gotta work on, just daily living. You gotta teach them about life, you gotta get them prepared for life. You know what I mean? While also you're still growing in yourself.
Right.
And you're still learning things about life, So it's kind of like everything's a teaching moment at any time. But it can be overbearing. But it's also rewarding. It's like having a best friend here every day. That just begs for it. Like a little broke bestie. That's a little, quotation they like to use these days, the broke bestie. I have a broke bestie.
A broke bestie.
But he's a sweet
great bestie.
you know, and I'm thankful he's not the kid that asks for a lot, you know. So
Right.
I will say that I got people I know that kids is asking them for certain type of sneakers and things like that.
Yeah.
I'm not there.
Right.
I just buy him stuff. He's okay with it. He not like, I don't want those, mommy. I don't like that. He's like, oh, thank you. You know, so he good. But when it comes down to like, you know, he's more so into like his action figures and stuff like that. His books, you know, he likes anime and things like that. So it's like simple stuff. Shit you find on Amazon for like $9, $10.
Right. He's
He not
cool.
asking for no freaking. Yes, absolutely. You know, he not asking for no PS5 and shit like that.
Right. Fingers
But
crossed. He ain't
not yet.
he ain't there yet, but you know, fingers crossed. He ain't asking for it yet.
Right.
But
Not
so,
yet.
like you said, having a
Not yet.
village.
But he did say to me the other day,
What?
he said, Mommy, I want an Oculus. I was like, no shit.
An Oculus?
Like,
$400 thing?
yes,
That $200 thing.
virtual reality thing.
It's $200? I thought it was $400.
Yes, and do you know me and
It's
Jordan? Yes,
200.
me and Jordan bought 2 pairs, unless there's like an upgrade. We bought these like 2 years ago, and we didn't use it. I have to say it to everybody that's gonna buy it. We
Do
spent
not.
like 3 days on there. No, we spent 3 days on there, and it's so boring in the metaverse. So it just sits there. Michelle, it was there for the housewarming, it was there for the baby shop, and it just sits there. I don't know. I tried it. It's not worth the money. Oh my
It's kind of
God.
like, remember
Sorry.
when there was like the Wii, like when everybody was going crazy off of that Wii stick thing?
Well, I'm not gonna lead
After
it.
a
Just
while,
Dance was actually super fun though.
yeah, but then after a while, you were just like, okay, and it just collected.
You put it down and it starts
Yeah,
to
like
collect
Yeah, that's
dust, and
true.
it's too expensive.
to
Put
collect
it down.
dust. Yeah, you better play this sucker every day. Like, don't just play
Trying
it
to tell you, when you
once.
get bored, you better play it, okay?
Hello, that's what I'm
Don't
saying.
tell me you don't want it no more.
Right.
What?
Whenever you're doing nothing, you better come and play with this thing, please.
Mommy, I'm bored. Well, let's go. We're gonna grab that Oculus. I'll be your partner. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing?
Right.
I can see it now because he does get bored quickly. So I can already see it now. Like, just imagine he's not going to sit in front of a PS5 all day and play games, you know, like a lot of people would. So I wouldn't even want to waste my money on that because, like, it'll be good for like the first 2 or 3 days. And then it's like, no, that's boring, Mom. What else can I do?
Right. After a while, he's just like,
You know, you be looking at him like, what you mean? What else can you do? There's a whole $700 game over there. You better go
pick another
play
game.
that.
Pick something else to play. Because what are you talking about? Yes, we're playing everything.
Adam.
Right. All of it. But like you said, so having a village, you still have one. But what's the importance, or how important is it to have a village behind being a single mother or just being a mother in general?
Because you learn things. I do believe like you learn a lot, you know, from your village. And especially being a young mom. Like if you don't really know much about being a mother, that first child is important.
Right.
And knowing and learning is very important. You know, I'm things to this day I tell my mom, if I didn't have it, I don't know what I would do. You know, I'd be clueless, honestly. But it's just it's just important for the support, you know, just constantly every day. It's like, you know, my example is that when I'm leaving the hospital and I'm running late, you know, he's letting himself in, but I also have a neighbor who's across the street who's a part of my village too, you know, and she's like, listen, don't worry about him. I'll make sure I look out when he get in the door, you know, I tell him, text me or call me when you get in and sure you lock the door. Like, you know, so if she's not there, you know, my aunt comes home early teaching, you know, she'll either come over here and sit here and wait for him. But it's always somebody like, you know, like have a village. I'm 45 minutes away from him, and he like, but you know, having
Yeah.
you know, it's a great thing.
That's good.
It's definitely a
You
great
need
thing.
it because you want to make sure, like you said, whenever you're not around, you got people that you could rely on to be there to help you whenever you know,
Absolutely.
because you got stuff that you're doing. It ain't like you just sitting around doing nothing. But how important is it to have a friend group being a single mother? Or just a mother in general?
Wait, say that.
Like, I'm
Say that.
gonna hurt that dog.
I'm gonna hurt him too. Shut up.
How important, and the fact that he's, nope, I thought he would stop after you said shut up. How important is it to have a friend group being a single mother or just a mother in general? Like what do you expect from your friends being a mother or probably just being the only mother at the time in your friend group? What did you want them to do at least?
I don't expect anything, but I will say this. I would love, to know that God forbid anything ever happens to me. And I know that's why they create godparents, but I think it also goes above and beyond godparents. And it also kind of still falls into like a village. When you have friends that are very close and now it's like aunties, like you and Amanda, you know what I mean? To Jamesy, it's like he has aunties. God forbid anything ever happens. But it's just, I don't know, like y'all just accept him for what he is because y'all know that boy crazy.
The boy, he is.
Y'all know that boy crazy, and it's just good to have friends who love your kids, and accept your kids, because not a lot of people can accept other people's kids only because of how kids are being raised these days.
That's true. That is very true.
And I'll say that. And
Amanda said, "Auntie here, we locked in."
It's like yeah, like I was saying, you don't have a lot of people who's able to accept your kids, and like that if need be, if God forbid, that your kids will be okay.
Right. Exactly.
So I think that being a single mom, and the only mom in our crew, it's great because now I can hand y'all off a 7-year-old, and y'all can get all the experience y'all need, for time being when that time comes, and whatever y'all want. Anytime y'all want me, I can take them.
I have so many kids. Like, I literally have 1,000, not 1,000, but I have a lot of children. Like, James was like a new introduction as we got closer. And then Catherine, just having her twins, they just turned a year.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Sorry, my machine.
She's at work. So Catherine's popping in and out because she's at work, but that's my girl. She popped in and she was like, "No, I gotta be on this one." So her and then my other friend Trish just had her twins. They're about to be one. So it's just like
nice.
everyone just had like kids, and I'm just like, oh my God, I'm learning so much. My cousins just had her little one, Scarlett. I show y'all Scarlett all the time, and Brandy. And then I have other friends who've had kids for like they're 10 years old now. Like my friend Lexi just had, well, she didn't just have, but she had her daughter Anaya. I think she's like 11 now or 12. And then my other friend from 6th grade, she has her 2 boys. And it's like everyone just has, I've the experience that I have had in raising kids, changing diapers, feeding, the crankiness, the back talk. Oh, I'm ready.
Oh yeah, that part, I ain't gonna lie.
That back talk.
It can be now that part can be challenging, okay? And I will say when it comes down to village, my mom be having to check me sometimes. As I'm like, James, you did it. She like, Shay,
bring it down.
Stop yelling.
It's crazy.
Why you trying me? Like, I don't understand.
They do that now with you, like with you, because that's their grandkid. But before they was always yelling at your ass when you was doing something wrong. I can't wait for my parents to do this because I'm gonna look at them and like, did you not? You're yelling at me, but you always just okay, no problem, got it, no problem. So we're gonna switch, and more moms will pop in. So when they do, we'll just go back to the other questions eventually. If more moms pop in. And we know people are getting out of work, people got kids to tend to, so it's okay. So relationship wise, being a single mama, and we have these conversations in our group chat all the time.
All the time.
Do you think, when is the perfect time for your child to meet your boyfriend or girlfriend? Hey, we're not discriminating. Do you think? But when do you think is the best time for your child to meet the person who you're talking to or who you're in a relationship with?
Realistically,
Mhm.
or how the world used
No, how you
to.
see it, because the world will sit here and tell us like you need to wait
I
year.
mean,
And there's
that's it.
Catherine's face. Hello, Catherine.
They will say to wait a year.
Look at my MRI machine, guys.
Oh, look at her.
Me and my machine.
That's what's causing
All that noise. I'm
all
so
that
sorry.
noise.
I just wanted to pop my face in.
It is
I'm
okay.
listening.
It's okay. But yeah, so when is the perfect time for, well, what do you think, Shay? For you, like when is the perfect time for somebody to meet James? Not what society says, because society tells us to do a bunch of shit, and it's not always right.
I would say my personal preference would be probably like about 6 months, but it's hard, you know, when you are living with your child, you know, and then it gets to that point where it's like, it may be a little before 6 months, but you gotta try to push it and keep it for 6 months.
Keep them away.
Because, you know, one thing is them attached. You know what I mean? And James is a very kid. I ain't gonna hold you. But I mean, it's hard. I'm not currently dating, so I really I don't know. I really don't know because I'm not dating right now, honestly. You know, everything with work and this, you know, getting back on my feet. That's not go to. But I would say 6 months.
That's good.
With the hopes and expectations that it goes further.
Right.
Honestly, you know, it's not guaranteed, but then like if it fails, you know, I mean, what can you really say about that?
Right. That's true. So, Kat, for you, because Catherine and I call him her husband. They're not married.
Yeah.
But
we married. We just not married because
right,
it doesn't help us in the political
Period.
system.
You know, whatever.
But we married.
But y'all married. And how has your relationship changed since having the babies? Or has it changed? Maybe it's still the same. Or has it gotten better?
It's still the same. It's still the same. But the only reason it's still the same is because of the nature of me and Jordan's relationship before the children were even introduced to the relationship. So I think my answer will probably slightly answer the previous question as well. I don't think that children should be introduced into any relationship until you two trust each other. Trust each other in a way where you believe that the person that you're introducing to your child, even if they make mistakes, we're humans, we make mistakes. You have to trust that person enough to believe that whatever they're doing with your child, to your child, and around your child is with the intention of doing what's right for the child. And you have to believe that about that person before you introduce them to the child. Me and Jordan, our relationship has been built on our relationship has been built on trust, like trust and communication. Me and Jordan, Michelle knows, she's been around. We say anything to each other. And it's really, really wonderful. And so, yeah, we didn't have the kids until we both decided that we were ready to do it. And if Jordan wasn't here and I had children, I wouldn't introduce a man to the child unless I trusted that man and that man trusted me. Now you can meet my kids. And I don't know how long that takes, but I think that's the metric.
Yeah, like everybody has their own, and that's why I was just like, don't worry about how or what society says that you're supposed to do it. Like society will tell you, oh, wait a year and a half. Why? If you feel comfortable with this person, they're who you've seen them in like almost all their seasons. Why do you have to wait a year for them to?
Very true.
Time can't answer those type of questions. Only situations can. But could you imagine you started talking to somebody and maybe you guys spoke to each other 3 times in a span of a year and a half? You still don't know who that person is.
That's true.
You still don't know. The only thing that can get you comfortable is number one, knowing yourself. When I talk to people about relationships, I say, girl, do not date anybody until you know who they're dating. Know yourself.
Yes.
And then after you know yourself, go look for somebody else who knows themselves. Because if not, they're going to destroy you with all their trauma that they don't even know.
Get that
Girl,
on
don't.
note. Yeah, that's a fact.
Preaching to the choir. Don't I
Catherine, look, Catherine, where you was at last year when I be a part of the discussion?
I'm always lurking around. Michelle knows I'm so busy all the time since
Yeah,
the day she met me.
all the time. Like, Catherine, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just doing this. Okay. All right. No.
Okay, look, I'm just doing school and class and kids and working. But I'm here. I'm here. I'm always here.
It is.
And I'm trying to be here more. I told Michelle, I said, Michelle, I want to come and talk on your platform. Let's talk
Yeah.
more.
But that's the thing too, though. I think that like even just growing up, like just switching gears for that, knowing that, and I think that's what makes good friendships too. Knowing that, listen, we're not going to talk every day. We're not
Right.
going to be able to go to everything. We cannot go out all the time. There are going to be some things I'm going to miss. But as long as I show my appreciation, as long as I shout you out, as long as I hit, check in from time to time, seeing how you're doing, then I feel like at this time in our life, with marriage, kids, this, that, whatever we're doing, that's okay.
Correct.
We're not 19
And
anymore.
whatever
We're
else.
not 20 anymore.
Absolutely.
It's not the drop of a dime. What you doing this Friday? Nothing. Okay, cool. Mom going out. All right, I'll see you later. Bye. It's not how it used to be. So having friends that are understanding in where you're going, regardless if you have kids or not, I think at
Right.
this age,
It's
it's
huge.
very you need that.
It's huge.
But continuing, when I go to your house, Shay, I can't say what I'm gonna say about that dog, but I'm gonna say what I have to say about
I'm so
that. I'm gonna say what I gotta say about that dog after. All right, so the next question is it easier to date someone with kids than dating someone without kids? And Catherine, you can answer this question too, but is it easier to
Yeah, I
date
mean, I have thoughts.
kids or than dating someone without kids?
I think it's the same.
Yeah.
For me, I feel like it's the same. I mean, I don't feel like I've ever met somebody that didn't have kids anyway. So I
Mhm.
mean, I don't know.
Dang,
But
I
I
almost challenged you
kind of
until
felt
I thought
like
about it being men. Oh,
if you have someone who doesn't have kids, you would honestly really want them to just be able to accept the fact that you do, and they have to be understanding because you might not be able to jump and move when they need you to.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I always try to people like when you don't have that type of responsibility, you can't expect me to just skip and groove because you able to skip and groove. I can't just skip and groove like that. You know,
Right.
you got to give me a little bit of time.
Right.
You know, I have things set in place, planned out. You know, if you do ever find somebody who doesn't have a kid and is able to kind of wait on your time frame, that's a great thing.
Right.
Because, you know, as we know nowadays, most of these men aren't even, you know,
Mm-hmm.
trying to be on your time frame. You know what I mean? So it's like when you do get it, appreciate it. But I haven't really run into anybody that doesn't have kids. I can't really.
I
Can't
think
really.
I tried the whole I tried the whole dating someone with kids, and I was just like, I've did it more than once. Let me not lie. I've done the whole dating someone with kids, and I was just like, okay, this isn't too bad. Then I dated someone with 3 kids, 3 different mothers. Don't ask me how that happened. That was never again. Never again.
I can't talk. I've definitely was
But see, I
talking.
think it's different because you have a child, so you kind of know. You get it. But
Now,
like,
I have 6 different mothers. No, I don't get that.
okay, not when you have 6 different moms, 6 different children. That's that's an episode for Oprah. But
That
um,
part.
six six different mothers is a lot. But I mean, I've tried the whole dating someone with children, and honestly, like I realized after my last relationship, I was just like, I'm not doing it, and especially if the baby's like if he's still a baby, I
Oh
can't.
yeah.
Mm,
There's I always find like there's a fine line at an age cutoff for me
yes.
because I do feel like not saying that even when James was younger,
Hmm.
I was more so focused on actually being mommy. You know what I mean? And I honestly don't feel like if I presented myself to a person, I would hope they'd be accepting that my child was only a few months old. Absolutely not. You know why? Because some way, somehow there is a connection still between you and that child's parent, the other person, because y'all have this newborn that has to get taken care of.
Right.
I'm saying, like, even though we wasn't together, I still was in cahoots trying to mend, certain areas where we could co-parent closely to raise him because he was little. You know what I'm saying? But I just felt like some people said, yeah, I got a 5-month-old. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing, no. The fuck you mean it's nothing, no? What you mean? I don't know if I'm okay with
still
that.
pretty fresh.
Catch me at maybe 4 or 5.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Where there's a little more space in that gap, in that frame. You know what I mean? But a few months it's a little too fresh.
Yeah. But even then, I feel like some people say like you're never really over. Okay, so that's another question. That could be another question I just thought about. When for the girls who are with no children. Well, first Amanda said, I feel like being someone who doesn't have children makes it hard to date someone who does. Which, we were saying like, yes, it definitely can be hard and difficult to date someone with kids if you don't have any. But for the girls who don't have kids, is it true that the baby fathers never spin the block but again on the baby mothers? Because I have questions that they never just spin the block. Like I've heard a lot of men say like, no, I'm done with her. Like, nah, that's just my baby mom. But do they ever try to like run it back? Or they be lying?
They spin the
Girl,
block. They spin the block. Tell the truth. They spin the block. Come on.
They spinning blocks. Okay?
Spinning that block.
They say tell the truth and shame the devil.
I want to make sure we was telling the truth on this shit. Tell the truth.
They just spinning blocks. And if they telling you they're not, they're lying.
Okay, because I felt like that
was
was true. Like, I've heard so many men say that, like, nah, that's just my baby mom's, and I really don't fuck with her like that. Sir.
Let me tell you something. That girl over there cooking that man a good old hot meal, okay?
Who?
And he's sitting up there babysitting his kids. How the fuck you babysit your own kids, though? Let's make it make sense.
Wait a minute, hold on. Babysitting your own kids.
Babysitting his own kids, okay? And he is comfortable with that. Meanwhile, knowing he entertaining another woman and she's sitting there like, what you doing? He probably sitting there lying, talking about some, nah, I just dropped my child off. Just say you about to be there for another 2 hours, bro. Don't lie to that girl like that. I don't know why it's a thing. So for some men to feel like they have to lie about something like that. People got to remember, when you have a child with someone, you have now, you obviously shared space. You know what I'm saying? You now have a creation that is connected to the both of you. So of course, you're gonna always still have a feel towards them when you go around them, when you speak to them, like when you guys are in cahoots together, you're gonna always feel like, damn, maybe I could have did more.
Right.
You know what I mean? To try to make this work. So, sometimes people have connections where they just like the presence of the person because they know that's a really good person and they know they did good by, they child is in good hands.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like for me, I'm going to take myself, for instance.
Right.
My child's father will always try to make it seem other to his girlfriend. Now, I don't, and I've said it to her before, I do not want that man. We had what we had. We shared what we shared, but I am personally done. He was never personally done with me for years. And I realized that's why we was always so combative because he wanted it, I didn't, so we was kind of like
going
back and forth 24/7. And I was just like, I don't want this shit no more. Like, why you keep bothering me? Why you da-da-da-da? But I know he really loved me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because we did share a connection when we was together. But things that transpired in the relationship is what drew me away from him. You know what I mean? So, which was perfectly okay on my end. So I was like, I'm cool with that. But when he come around, I can see the little butterflies in his eyes. You know what I'm saying? When he's dropping my son off or coming to pick him up, I can see he be trying to start little small conversations to stay for a little second. Me, I'm like, okay, have a good day. So, you know what
Yeah.
But if people are just honest with their person and just say, listen, I was with this person for that X amount of years. I really loved her. You know, we ain't working out, work out, but I really loved her. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want some, I just need her presence sometimes. But if you feel like you still need the presence, then you don't need to be bothered with somebody.
That's a fact.
Because it has to either be you totally done or you still trying, like,
Right.
and I just think it's hard sometimes for men to completely disconnect. See, when we done, we done. Once we clock out and plug out, it's quiet. Like,
it's over.
I can't speak for all. I can only speak for me.
I
Like,
gotta jump in. Yes, we're emotional. We're emotional, and men are territorial, and that's the difference. Men are territorial. Once they have you, they're like, "That's
your mind.
Somebody else is gonna have you."
Right.
So that's why they keep spinning. They never stop spinning. Don't let nobody tell you they're not spinning. You always want to mark that tree. Stop lying. Don't let them lie. All right. Let's get real primal. Let's get primal.
Right.
Men will always want to mark that tree. Okay?
That's a fact.
Right.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
That is
Sorry,
true.
I know my machine is loud, but y'all talking about such great topics. I'm just here ear hustling, like, damn, I want to say something.
That's all right. We have a whole another hour left, so we good. We're gonna spin it black. Spin it black. You hear me?
All right, keep spinning,
back again.
I'm here.
Back.
Black. So the next one is it a must for your partner to meet your baby father, or for the guys who are listening, the baby mother, before they meet your child or children?
I never had that happen, so I don't really know. I can't say that too much because I personally never made it an issue for them to meet my child's father because I just didn't feel like it was needed.
Some people say that. Some people do say, like, what is the issue with, like, why do you need to meet them first before they are?
I do feel like if there is a situation where we are at a gathering for the child, and the father happens to be there and so does your significant other, respectfully, it's the decent thing to do and say, hey, so-and-so, this is, your child's father or your child's mother, or, this is who I'm seeing, we don't even got to say who you're seeing, but this is my, this is so-and-so, my person or whatever, so they know, because it's just this, Shelly, I don't know. I can't say. I don't know. I've never had to do that, so I'm not sure. But I would just feel like as adults, we should be able to say, hi, how are you?
So when I was dating the guys with children, I only met one mom. And she was cool. She was chill or whatever. But for the most part, you can tell like, she still had something for him. Although she would never like say exactly that she still had something for him. Because I asked him,
I was about to ask you.
yeah,
why'd you say it like that? She said she's cool. She said I met her. She's cool. Why you're cool? Why you're cool? Go like that. She's cool.
Because she's cool, but it was given very much so like you were cool just because of the conversation that we had, but then it was also like you still got something for him. So it's
you
not
have
like
to meet them. You have to meet them. That's the answer.
do.
And the reason is it's a vibe check. I have to
Right.
meet her for the vibe check. I gotta see what her non-verbal cues are around you. I gotta see if she leans towards you when she talks. I gotta see if she's crossing her legs towards you. I gotta see how much she's trying to act like she know you more than I know you. I gotta see how invested this woman still is in your presence. It's a vibe check, and I think it's necessary.
That girl was loud. She was loud. Like she made sure like to be known, like I still like him, I still love him, and you're here now, but whenever you're not around, if I need something, he's coming. Like kind of having that feeling like I'm over you. We're not on the same page because that's my son, daughter's mother, and you'll always come second to me. And this whole like, and I guess in a sense it's understandable because yes, you do come to an extent before me because of what you have. But don't get it twisted, baby. You were the were. I am the now. So at some point, it's like, I don't know. I just didn't like the controversy of it all either because I felt uncomfortable, like, and in him not putting her in her respectful place, like, that's my girlfriend. Relax. She's not rude to you. She didn't come, or we weren't together, but that's the girl I'm talking to. Um, she's not rude to you. She's very respectful. I always like, you know me, y'all know me. Like, I just, in any situation, I always sit to the back and I always just look at the room first. I feel everybody's vibe out before I say anything. And if I feel like the vibe is off, 9 out of 10 times I'm not saying nothing. Or I'll just keep it real, like, cute, like, hey, how you doing? Good. Okay, cool, no problem. But with her, it was very much so like she was loud. Like, I wanted to be known. I'm here and don't try me. And I was like, girl, don't try me. The hell? What you talking about? Don't try me, ma'am. But I don't know. I guess but I do feel like, yes, if I had ever, when I was dating guys with children, I did feel like, yes, that was a respect thing, at least for me. Because I had to at least let you know that, yes, I'm here in your child's life, but I also don't mean no harm to your kid. I'm not trying to be their mother. I'm not trying to mother them. I'm just trying to build something with this man, and then, your child is an added bonus. But luckily and thankfully, that didn't happen. So, moving on. What are some
No stepmommy Shelly.
no stepmommy Shelly? Bam. What are some lessons your child's father, your husband, Catherine, has taught you for your next relationship? Or, well, that one doesn't mean anything for you, Catherine, but what are some
Not
lessons?
that way, but I learned a lot. I learned things though, so I'll jump in
Well,
after.
yeah, you did
I'll
learn
jump
things,
in after.
but like the
Yeah.
next relationship part, that's not for you.
No, that's not me. Yeah, no.
But Shay, like, for the next relationship that you do get into, which we're manifesting and your husband is coming his way, we always talk about it. We always talk about it. What did you learn from that relationship?
Hallelujah. Um, to be a little to be patient and just really feel the person out, because I ain't gonna lie, me and my son's father, we rushed it a little bit. And I just felt like I didn't give it enough time. And what I know now is to see how the next person is with, if they have kids, their kids, and, around their family, and, just try to see like how they are with my child, you know what I'm saying? Before actually saying like, hey, we should create one of our own, you know what I mean? But I don't know if I'm gonna get this boy. Trying to get this body right, girl. At this point, my time clock ticking, baby. About to be 35. I don't know about that. What your mama say on the last episode? It's called what'd she say? Old,
Yeah, she called it
was it old
pregnancy? Old pregnancy. I said, damn, ma. She's
old pregnancy or
sure.
something like that? Like old people pregnancy. I was like, oh,
pregnancy. I
that
said,
sounds
well,
kind
dang. I don't know if I want to be. I don't know if I want to be a part of that, but I'm gonna be a part of it. But it is what it is. So
I don't know. I mean, I would definitely
like.
take the time and get to know my person.
Mm-hmm.
I will wait a little bit.
Okay, waiting
How
is
serious it can get and where it goes before I just let's share sperm, some shit like that or whatever. Let's have a baby. No.
sperm fly.
Knowing that the responsibilities I have now, kids it's a lot of responsibility.
And you would definitely want that help.
And definitely will need that help, and I don't want to be a single mother again.
Right.
And I said that before. Our next relationship is my husband.
Yes, talk about it. That's it.
By the time I get married, I don't even know if I want to be popping out kids at that time, though. You know what I mean? Like, I'll accept your kids as my kids. We go to adopt a kid, but I don't know about popping out my baby, after a certain age, but
But I mean, if it happens, happen. I mean, you have moms who are having women who are having moms, women who are having children in their 40s. So
That is true.
it can happen, but you never know. But we do have another mom. Hey, Kiana. She's not listening. She's not paying attention. She we can't hear you, girl.
Sorry, I just
Oh,
got
there
off
you go.
work. Yeah, happy Mother's Day to all out there. Okay. I know the other one up there. Sorry, guys, I'm just listening in. I'm trying to get my headphones right. I'll see y'all on the bus.
Okay.
It's about to be bad. I know I was late. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry.
That's fine. It's okay. It's okay. You can jump in whenever you hear something that you want to jump in on. But so we do have two questions, so you guys can answer them. How do you deal with different parenting styles as a parent? Co-parenting. That's a good one.
That's a great one, actually.
Mm-hmm. That was actually one of my other questions. Oh, look at Manzo. That was one of my questions. How do you deal
Girl,
with the different styling of parenting?
I am the nailer.
Mm-hmm.
That is laxy daisy.
Mm,
And I'm not gonna lie, sometimes it drives me crazy.
right.
But I have to remember that I cannot tell him how to parent.
Right.
I can control how I parent.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you know, so sometimes I be having to put my son back in check. I don't care what you did over there, but I'm gonna tell you in this house here, that's
Right.
what you're not gonna do. You know what I'm saying? So I have to kind of wheel him back in sometimes because when he gets there, he's stuck on the way daddy does things, and now he's back home, and he'll forget. And I'll be like, no,
Mm-hmm.
we're not doing all that. You're gonna do what I tell you to do. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm telling you to do.
Right.
Parenting in two different households it's I guess it can be type confusing to the kid because it's kind of like they don't know which way is actually the right way.
Mm-hmm.
But who's to say the other is wrong? You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's what they know because that's how they was raised.
Mm-hmm. That's how
And I know
my dad
what
does
I
it.
know because of how I was raised.
Right. Right.
It can be challenging, but you just have to remind them the core basics.
Mm-hmm. That is true.
And I think that's what plays a major part.
That's true. Can your significant other make parenting suggestion comments, not having children of their own? Mm. So I guess the person who you're dating, can they make parenting suggestions or comments, or is that like not they got to stay in their lane? Like that's not for you to talk about.
If it's really coming from a genuine loving place, I do feel as people in general, we should be able to be open to all options and ideas
Mm-hmm.
because we may not know what we can actually be doing that may be harmful.
Mm-hmm.
And they may see other ways that can kind of help, you know what I mean,
Right.
to kind of help the situation. I do believe, accepting criticism in a nice way, because not in a rude way, because I also gonna hit you with I don't know what the fuck you think you're talking to. Then I'm gonna tell you stay in your lane. You know what I mean? But if it's coming from a place of love, I don't see nothing wrong with, you know,
Mm-hmm.
taking advice or, trying something different.
Right.
But I know there's some people out there who is not with that shit at all. Like, you don't know what the fuck it's like to raise a child. So don't you try
Mm-hmm.
to tell me how to raise a child. You know what I mean?
Right.
But we don't know because maybe they raised siblings, or maybe they've seen it before and it's just giving advice about other ways to go about things. So, I mean, I'm someone who's open to it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not 100% shut out, but I also do believe that just how you bring it to the table is very important.
Right. That's true. That is definitely true because you can't always, um, and that's why when I was dating guys with kids, it was just like I let you do that. Like that's for you and the mom to handle. But like if ever they were doing something like you're gonna hurt yourself, your father's not gonna like that, or don't do this, don't do that. Like just things that will possibly hurt them or like cause some damage to them. But when it comes to like parenting them, you ain't my child, so I ain't gonna do it. Let your mama handle that. I'm gonna let your father handle that.
That's the plateau I'm not about to stand on.
Exactly.
Okay.
We're not gonna do that. Now, is it different possibly when you are married to the person? So is it different from just dating? Like, okay, that's just the girlfriend or that's just the boyfriend. But now if I become your wife or I become your husband, now I have a different role because now I'm stepmom, now I'm stepdad.
Mhm.
Or is there still a line that just cannot be crossed?
You are now in that child's life
Mhm.
significantly.
Right.
And the well-being of that child is now your responsibility. Because when you take those vows, for better, for worse, sickness and health, you're also not doing it just to your partner, but you're also doing it to now letting them know, like, I accept that child. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I do believe it is okay for them to say something to the child if they know that the child is almost close to danger or something may be off or they're not doing something right. You know what I mean? It's okay to discipline.
Mhm.
But once again, it's how you do it.
How you do it, right?
Just how you do it. You don't want to be too, what did your mother say? First of all, nigga, hold on. Because I'm going to tell you the whole thing. We
Right.
ain't going to yell like that because I don't yell like that. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? Like, I also do feel like, watch how the other parents their child.
Mhm.
It's okay to say, listen, I know you heard your mom tell you 4 times, go do X, Y, and Z. Please, make sure you get to it. That's cool.
Mhm.
Yelling, screaming, cursing, anything excessive, absolutely not.
Right. And putting your hands on them too. Don't
That or not,
touch
mom.
somebody's child. Mm-hmm.
But that's also a conversation you have to have with your wife or your husband.
Mm-hmm.
On,
Yeah, this is
is
such
it okay? How would you like me? Or if I have a way to discipline, would you allow me? You know what I'm saying? Because then that's when y'all open up and say, listen, I don't mind you disciplining, but I don't want it to be overbearing neither.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Well,
So
I wanna lend something to this because I've really been struggling myself with this, especially with Jordan being a father.
Mm.
Neither Jordan or I grew up with our father in the household in a fundamental way.
Mm-hmm.
We were both raised
Mine
by
either.
our mother.
Mm-hmm.
I
Right.
think if we're talking about the Black experience and Black culture, I'm giving 75 to 80, maybe 90% of us were raised in single parent household, more than likely the mother. So everything that we know about disciplining, we
Mm-hmm.
learned it from a woman's perspective,
Mm-hmm.
and
Correct.
we only understand it from a woman's perspective.
Right.
So now that we know that something, we can't even specifically identify what the thing is, but
Right.
we know that something went wrong when they messed up the nuclear family. Whatever presence or role the Black man had in the household, they maliciously and purposely moved him out of that role.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to Jordan disciplining the kids,
Mm-hmm.
I struggle with what to do, but I actually spend a lot of time doing nothing.
Yeah.
I do not get in Jordan's way when it comes to that part of our partnership.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm only saying, and I'm being very vulnerable right now. I'm saying it to y'all because I don't know if it's right. But I do know that if as women we keep reprimanding our Black men, they're not going to feel safe or comfortable in our worlds.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So I'm confused too. I just wanted to add that. I'm confused too. I just wanted to add that. That's it.
I can definitely get that, Catherine, because I do know, like, how what we know back in the day was from even listening to our grandparents, what your grandfather said goes. The woman always supported the man's, discipline on anything. What the man says goes, and the woman just went with it. And they listen. Your father said no, it's no. Your daddy said no, it's no. It's no. Well, why would you tell him no if I told him yeah? It was none of that going on back then. It was always what they said no. If he said don't you go there, don't you touch that, don't you touch that. It's different now because, like Catherine said, the piggyback, we don't have that structure of the man in the home.
Right.
No, none of us
So
did.
we are learning all from a woman's perspective of discipline, which is very true.
We
And I
are.
don't know if I don't know if, and if all of those things are true, I don't know if we're giving the new generation of Black men, I don't know if we're giving them a fair chance.
I agree.
And like, they need a chance. They have to try. Their fathers didn't do it. Our fathers didn't do it. And if they don't do it, all we're doing is perpetuating the same trauma from the past.
Yeah.
So I'm in the corner like, I'm like, yo, bro, that was really hard. Wow. I wouldn't have, wow. That was so harsh.
That was harsh, right?
But in the
I
back
think,
of my
like,
head, I'm like, this is the discipline that my kids need before they're 5. Because if he don't handle them in here, they're going to handle them out there.
out
And I'm
there,
not letting nobody handle my kids.
handle
You
your
feel me?
children.
So
Exactly.
as of right now, I just let Jordan do whatever he wants. Sorry,
Yeah.
y'all.
Even no, but like that's
I
true
feel
though.
you.
But I think like for me and I grew up with both of my parents in the household, and my father was he wasn't he wasn't strict, but my father was just like, watch what you're doing. Like, don't. My mom did more of the reprimanding, but my father was very much so on the side of hearing it from a man's perspective. Like, you don't want to do X, Y, and Z because this is going to cause this and that's going to cause that. If my mom didn't feel like it, she'd be like, what did your father say? All right, then it's a no. But they always had like, they always came to the agreeing, like the coming to the minds of each other and saying like, okay, it's not going to happen. Like, it was never, well, if I said no and your father said yes, then go with what your father says. They had to come to the understanding like, okay, are we letting this happen or are we not letting this happen? But then again, me and my brother weren't, thank God, we weren't terrible, like
Yeah,
badass.
y'all not bad kids. Y'all
Yeah,
not, y'all OD
we weren't
good.
bad kids. Like, it was the look and the stare and the pluck for us. Like, that was enough. We never got beaten. We never got our ass whooped. It was just always like, play with me if you want to and see what could happen. And that enough
Yeah.
was just like, okay, you got it, sure. But I think my
Yeah,
father
because nowadays
also,
these kids be-
yeah, these kids need their, let me, you know what, never
They
mind.
need their asses beat. What? Don't you? I'm saying it.
They do need their
need
asses beat. These kids need
whooped.
their asses
Gosh.
beat
I'm about to take y'all outside and get y'all jumped by my
with
friends,
a
keeping it a stack with
switch.
y'all. Like, y'all don't know where I came from.
With a
Stop playing with
switch.
Like,
me.
y'all don't know about going to pluck your own whip off the
Has
tree and have to tear a little
Okay.
piece off. Baby, when you
switch
are back in
because
the
the way
house,
their mouth is set up nowadays, I be ready to
So, like,
ragtag
within
you.
reason. Me and Jordan are in the corner, like, within reason. But y'all gonna get this work on some K-Dot shit. I'm gonna put you in your place. Okay?
Exactly.
All right.
So Amanda joined. Amanda is
Hi,
not
Amanda.
online, but Amanda's here. Hey, friend.
Hi. I had to join. I had to. I was like, I had so
She was
many
right all the comments, and she
questions.
was like, "Oh no, I gotta
Yeah,
ask."
no, I was like, I had to figure it out. I did the pod beat, it didn't work, and I was like, all right, no, we about to go into
Yeah,
Zoom
something's going
because
on with the podcast, you know.
there was so many things, and I was just like, this conversation is amazing, and I love that there's so many different perspectives coming from someone who was raised by a single mom. Hey, girl.
Yeah.
But then it's like hearing the perspective too of like, what you go with what your father said. And it was like I had a completely different upbringing. My father was there till I was 6, and then he was in and out whenever, he felt like it. Up until now, as an adult, we have a really close relationship. But growing up, it was dysfunctional. And, a lot of the reasoning was, his childhood traumas, and he didn't know how to do certain things because of his own childhood traumas. And even with that, like, I felt like, he got a pass for a lot of the things that transpired and the things that he missed because of his childhood trauma.
Right.
So it also affected, like, exactly what Catherine said, my relationships with men. I didn't create a safe space to where, in the past they could feel comfortable and be vulnerable. But it was because of, the childhood traumas I had because my dad wasn't there, because, it was generational curses. So hearing that, I was like, oh my God. And then, hearing perspectives of, like, that's why I asked that question. Like, can your significant other, be opinionated on certain parenting things? And it wasn't necessarily like what you said, Shelly, like, as far as like parenting the child. Like, I don't have any kids. You girls know that. I don't have any kids. I've dated two of my exes had children, and it was just one in particular that it was just certain things he did as a parent that I didn't necessarily agree with, but it was the dialect was very much, I didn't have kids, so I couldn't have an opinion, which is why I asked that question.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, he would vent and, talk about whatever problems he was having, whether it's with his child's mother or the children in general.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I would see certain things as red flags, not having anything to do with, the mother, because I'd never met her. There was never any, anything like that. It was
Right.
certain things he did that I was like, I don't think that, all right, okay, I'm gonna mind my business. But it was certain things. So I feel like society has it's been deemed like, all right, if you don't have a child, you don't understand. But I feel like if you are raised right and you have your own, common sense, then you don't have to have a child to know right from wrong.
Right.
Like you should be able to see red flags from a distance, no matter the situation. Or, being a woman and not having a child, dating someone that has a child, it's like, you see certain things and you're just like, I'm not gonna say anything, okay. But that's why I brought that specific topic up. And I wish, we could get a man's perspective on that too, because, just because he doesn't have, excuse me, children of his own, or, he didn't have the healthy relationship with his father, doesn't mean he doesn't see certain, behaviors that are not healthy.
Right. Absolutely. That's true too. That's definitely true. And that's why it's just it's so important, like, for men to just be in the household. Like, y'all have to be there. Black men specifically. Like, these boys are just out here running around. Don't know they ass from they face. Don't know what's going on. Like, they're looking and referring to the streets. They're looking and referring to these celebrities, and they're just looking at the wrong places. And
But the women are too.
the women are too.
These young girls too. Like,
The
I
women are
didn't
too.
necessarily have my father there every day,
Mhm.
but the times that I did have him and the conversations that we did have and the lessons and, things that he did instill in me, I am so grateful for, because I see some of these girls and, they're looking for love in all the wrong places and they lack inner self-love and self-confidence. And it's like, no matter what people say or whatever their excuse is,
Mhm.
it stems from the home some way, somehow.
Right.
Correct.
That's true.
No, I totally agree with that. I feel bad because when the conversation started and it was just me and Michelle, it's like this conversation is for mothers, but all I ever want to talk about is community building, because the community matters so much, which is the men as well.
Mhm.
And even here as mothers, we're sitting here, we're telling our own.
We cut out Catherine.
Michelle?
Do share in our experience because it's the idea of family.
Mhm.
Like the idea of family and manifesting a world where families can be comfortable.
Mhm.
And then if that, then men can be comfortable, because really, it's like we don't trust them to do the right thing.
Mhm.
And we also already know that they don't know what to do.
Right.
And they don't know what to do because we don't know what to do.
You don't know what to do. Right.
So it's like, it's interesting. It's an interesting thing, but the family dynamic, I think as a people, we have to work together on rebuilding families, because that's exactly what's missing without the Black men. And Black men won't feel comfortable unless they're a part of a real family. Not like woman, man, children, family, like everyone together. So I don't know.
That is true.
Michelle, I
Yes.
have a question for you. Can we get an opinion from, or a comment from an older person? I have
Yes.
my mom sitting here next
Hey,
to me.
Mom.
Yes.
Come on, Mama, come in.
Hi, how's everyone?
Good. How are you?
Come. Good. How's everyone?
Good, good, good. So yeah, Ma, what's your take on it? How do you feel about
Yes. Okay.
how do you feel about just raising, I guess, children in a Black household, being well, if you're a single mom, being a single mom, raising your children without having their father there? Like, what was the struggle, your village that you did have, the ups and downs of it, you know, whatever you
It
would like.
was I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, whatever you would like to share. Go ahead.
It was very difficult. It
Mhm,
was very, very difficult. But thank God that I did have a support system. I
mhm,
had my mom, I had my two sisters. One lived around the corner and one lived not too far away. It was very, very difficult raising
mhm.
a child. Even though it was just one child, it was difficult. You know,
Right.
because I was a working mom.
Okay. Mhm,
And I feel that every household does need to have both parents there.
mhm,
But if that is not the case,
mhm,
and in this day and age, most cases, you know, in most households, that's
mhm.
not the case, you
Right.
know. So all I can say is that I depended a lot on God. I prayed a lot. Thank
Mhm,
God I had the type of family who was very supportive, who
mhm,
was there, you know,
mhm.
and and we made it work. We did.
Well, you did a great job. I mean, I
Thank
only
you.
knew Marche for like how long I knew you, Shay? For like 3 years, 4 years,
2021.
whatever, however long that is.
Like I'm like 2021.
We we knew each other for that long, and you did a great job. Like I know it
Thank
definitely
you.
couldn't have been easy, and I could just, like I said, I see Shay doing it, and I'm just like, girl, how? Like I'd be ready to lose my mind knowing all the things I got to do for myself. So I can only imagine having to have another person that's relying on you and mommy, 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 and you're like, what? Yes,
Yes,
okay.
said it
Have
just
a-
like that. Yes. Yes.
right.
But I also want to say to anyone out there who is going through single parenthood, just hang in there
Yeah,
and rely on God. Pray as much as possible.
absolutely.
If you have family that you can reach out to them. Whether
Mhm.
they can give you an inch, take that inch and
Right.
go with that. You
Yes.
know, if they can help out more, that's fine. But don't give up. Just
Right.
hang out, hang in there.
And it's
Okay?
important to have that village, like you said,
Yes,
like
it
gotta
is.
have it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, it is. That foundation is very important, especially ensuring that there's a foundation with God.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yes.
Oh, with a God.
Yeah. God, thanks, Ma.
You're welcome. Make sure I got foundation with God.
With God.
With God.
To Jesus. Absolutely. Amen. But
As
that's
we
true
see it.
though. And it's like you see so many women doing it. And it's kind of like it's frustrating. It's annoying to see so many Black and Hispanic women just doing it by themselves.
Mhm.
And they don't have to. It's like
Right.
it's like, okay, so I've heard somebody say like, oh well, how do you become a parent? Like how do you become a good parent? And it's just like trial, tribulation. You really don't know. I think it's just you have to you figure it out as time goes on. You don't know what you're doing. Like my parents,
And
my
she
father
become a great
grew up
parent.
with his mother. Um,
Mhm.
my mom had my grandmother and my grandfather for a little bit, and then my grandfather and my grandmother went their separate ways. And they were both raised by single moms. And I think that's what also keeps them. June 1st will be 39 years they've been together,
That's
which
beautiful.
they are just like my mom and dad always say, and I say this all the time. When I had asked them, how did y'all stay together for so long? They would say, like, that's my friend. Like before anything, that was my friend. And they get along, like they piss each other off. There's plenty of times like back at Grace, because I'm not from Queens, y'all. I'm from the Bronx. Um by Eden Wall. Shout out to y'all. Yeah. Um they would argue in the house. I remember my brother would just look at each other and then look at them like, what are y'all arguing about? But then it's like a few minutes later, your food is on the table. And I'm looking at her like, you just wanted to take his neck off just a second ago. She's like, I know. but he still got to eat. And it's just like she says all the time, before anything else, we always had to have that bond. Like, that has to be somebody that you can laugh with, that you could joke around with. Not everything has to be so serious. Yes, you're married according to the government. Yes, you're on paper, whatever. But outside of all of that, that has to be your friend. Like, that has to be the goal. And that's why when people ask me, why do you still want to get married? Because I feel like I'm a vibe. That's 1, 2. And 3, it's it's like, why not? I want to get married. I want to have that household. I want to have what I grew up in. So, but that's, that's that. But then we're going to get into the controversial questions because we only got a few more minutes left. So we only get to the controversial questions. So,
What? Controversy for 30 minutes? I'm writing a suggestion. It should be a half an hour of controversy and 30 minutes of
of everything else.
soft talk.
Well, I mean, we can keep it going. I mean, I just said 30 minutes, but we can keep it going. Don't get me started. I could be here all day.
Just get the. All right, so let's do the
All right,
questions.
so let's
see where the questions go.
start aiming them out. Okay, so the first controversial question, and if anybody has any, I'm on my live now, on my personal live, the _sincerely Shelly, so you could add some in the comments if you have any questions for the single moms and for moms in general. It's Mother's Day episode. First one, postpartum depression. Did you experience that? Who did you have to help you, and how important is it to have someone there during the postpartum depression? So the first part is, did you have postpartum depression? Did you experience it? Because that was a loaded question.
You
Okay,
know,
me? No.
go ahead, Catherine.
Me?
You said no?
I did not experience any postpartum.
Mhm.
I'm sure it's because I had a group of people around me to support me.
Mhm.
And if I can lend anything to the concept of postpartum, I guess, I think when you finish being pregnant, it's like you don't know what to be no more. Like, wait, hold on. I'm not a single girl. I'm not a single human. My body still feels weird. Like
Right.
it took, I think it was like one day, and I'm not even kidding.
Mhm.
Yeah. It was one day, maybe 6 months after the kids were born. I was standing outside smoking a spliff, and I literally had a visceral response. Like I felt my body feel normal. Like I could distinguish the difference between when my body felt normal and when my body felt like I just extracted a human from it. So I was never ever depressed, but I did get overwhelmed. I think it's just a matter of like having to rebalance everything in your life once everything is there. But
Mhm.
I wasn't depressed. No.
Okay. Shay, did you have postpartum?
Catherine answered that pretty head on, honestly. I do agree with Catherine. I didn't really have the time to actually, not even saying the time, but I just didn't have that mental space to hit postpartum once,
I think
because
time was the right word. I really feel like time is the right word. Like,
Was it?
pretty much. Like,
because
no time.
it's like you spring right into mommy mode. I mean,
Mhm.
like she said, yes, you do get overwhelmed because it's a lot, But once again, I had the support.
Mhm.
And so I didn't really have that non-functional downtime where I could be like, oh my God, I can't do this for myself. Because I wasn't really by myself. I didn't have the partner there, but I still had, my support system was around.
Mhm.
So I didn't really get to hit it. I've never really got to feel what that feels like.
Mhm.
I've heard stories, but I've
Mhm.
never had to actually feel it myself. And I thank God for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I've never had to deal with postpartum.
Okay. So, all right. Now this is the real real reason why I wanted to do the Mother's Day episode. So I had seen I think it was an episode of somebody's podcast, and a guy, or questionnaire or something, and a guy said, and Amanda, you could chime in too, because you were raised by a single mother. Some would say you chose this life. Can a woman choose to be a single mother? That's the same look I gave Amanda. That's the same look I gave Catherine. That's the same look I gave Marche. When I seen that, I almost threw my phone because I said, "Excuse me, did you?"
You know what?
Absolutely.
I think
Absolutely. Because my mother chose
it's
to
a
be a
choice
single
to a
mother.
point.
She
It's a
said, you
choice
know
to a
what?
point.
I'm tired. I'm doing everything by myself anyways. You could go. I got this.
Okay. All right.
And she was saying just like that too. Because she was like,
And my mother did it.
it got to a point where, all right, you're like a third child, bro. So you want to act like a child. I'm not going to be your mother no more. So yeah, you could go live your life, do your thing. I got this.
Right.
And that's that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, she didn't go into that relationship or have me and my sister with the mentality of I'm gonna be a single mother.
Right.
She hit a breaking point. Period.
Right.
But
no, yeah, that definitely.
even your
There
mother
you go, man. That's
hitting
very
that
well
breaking
answered.
point-
That's it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a phenomenal answer. But even your mother hitting that breaking point was her choosing.
Right.
Even that, even with her back up against the wall and everything thrown at her but the kitchen sink, she still has to choose. There are women today who are still that victim reality. They got 6 kids. Their kids are all in their 30s, and they still with the same asshole, bro. Like, so you're not leaving? No, I can't. Oh, it's a choice. Either way, it's a choice. I think this whole the only thing that we didn't choose was to be born. Like, I'm not fucking around. The only thing we didn't choose was to be here and present on this earth. But everything that happens after that, like, nah, bro, everybody got a part to play. Right. I don't respect any conversation where nobody takes any level of accountability. I will never respect that.
Thank you.
So, like, some niggas said being broke is hard, being rich is hard. Choose your heart. I believe that statement is for everything in life. Everything. Choose it, bro.
True. Absolutely true.
And believe polls have been taken. I know for a fact that the happiest woman is the single mother. Not the married mother, not the partner, like baby mama, baby father situation. Not the happiest person is the single mother.
Can't say that shit, girl.
And I get that. My mom was a single mother, and before my father left, he was the weakest link in our family. The moment my father left, we were all able to thrive without him. Now, with all those things being said, knowing that women are happier with their children and no man, and knowing that taking the man out of the household makes everyone thrive, what does that mean for our Black men? Like, what about the Black men? What about the men? Like, that's weird. Like,
it's very weird.
It's weird that we are happier without men. What is happening?
Yeah.
It's like, do you dominate and say, no, I'm not leaving. I'm going to make sure this family is good. I'm going to make sure y'all straight. And it's like, nigga, you're not doing nothing now.
Right. Like, what are you doing now?
Like, you know, it's kind of like,
hey, nephew.
Jamesy.
Hi, James. Nice to meet you.
Hello, Miss Catherine.
Hello, Miss Catherine. So adorable. I love it. I hope my son is nice like you. Sorry, y'all.
Yeah, he got her personality all the way.
All the way.
All the way.
But it's true though but see, and I think what he was. Well, I wish I could find it because I was trying to find it. I'm gonna look for it and I'm gonna send
that
it.
man was being salacious and sensational.
He was
trying to draw emotions out of people.
Something, because the way he said it, he was like, yeah, they choose to be single. So of course, what like you're angry. Like your baby mother doesn't want you. So that's what you're upset about?
Yeah,
Here we go. He was trying to double back and she didn't let it happen.
And she didn't let it happen. Like that's what
happened.
That's what you're really upset about.
Because I have a better relationship with my father now as an adult, I get his perspective now. And he's full of regret. You know how they say men, their frontal lobe don't fully develop till they hit a certain age and things of that nature. My father had me very young. He did. He was 19, turning 20 when he had me. Okay? He will tell anybody, I wasn't ready to be a parent. And I wish I was the man I am today back then. He's like, because if I was the man I am today, I'd still be with your mother. He's like, that relationship wasn't it wasn't her downfall at all. It was mine. And he takes full accountability. He says this, man, don't get me started. He says it all the time. He is full of regret because he realizes that, you know, his inconsistencies and, you know, his, you know, toxic behaviors, whatever the case may be, caused him to miss so much as a parent.
Mhm.
So it's like what I'm noticing, because I'm like, my father, you know, he was in them streets. He was, you know, kind of similar to a lot of these young kids out here now back then, you know? So I feel like you have a lot of babies having babies,
True.
not taking accountability for their actions, not fighting for their relationships, not seeing a full value in, you know, having both parents raising their children. Like, you have a lot of that, right?
Mhm.
With that being said, you know, they walk away because, you know, they can't have their cake and eat it too, because women are not having it. They're not standing for it. They're like, listen, you're either going to be this or you're going to go about your business, you know? So what I've noticed through my relationship with my father is he's full of regret. So I feel like that's just going to be a continuous cycle for these men that don't want to step up, that don't want to be there, that don't want to change their behaviors to set a better example for their children. They're going to get older. Your children are going to realize, you're going to learn. Yeah, when we're young, we don't get it. We want mommy, we want daddy, we want this, we want that. You don't get it as a child. But when you become an adult and you fully grasp everything that was going on when you were a child, you're fully able to understand and come up with your own perspective on things. And once that happens and your adult child can sit here and hold you accountable for your faults and where you messed up or you didn't try hard enough, that right there it's a killer. And I've seen it. So to see him now in his 50s be full of regret, that toxic cycle is just going to continue.
Yeah.
Whereas women are like, you know what? Like my mom always said, she was like, I know my girls are gonna take care of me. And she's like, and your father, he gonna end up in a nursing home. Like, that's the perspective she has of it. Why? Because she was there. She was there through thick and through thin. You left when we was thick.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. But then guys that are our age mates, I feel like, shouldn't they know that? Like the guys who are our age mates, don't you know that when you were a kid, your father wasn't there? How dare you grow up and perpetrate the same crime? Because that's a crime. That's an offense. That's not even of God. So like, if we saw our parents do it and we were like, oh my God, this is so messed up. Why the hell did all the guys walk away? Like the reason why Jordan is Jordan is because he is the anti of everything his father was. He's like, my father wasn't here, so I'm never leaving. My father never talked to them, so I'm gonna always talk. My father never taught me how to deal with my emotions. So not only did he take time to learn how to deal with his emotions, he is going to make sure his children knows how to deal with their emotions. So when I see Jordan, he's what I expect from every man who grew up in a fatherless home.
Right.
I expect you to learn from that trauma, heal yourself, and then make sure to not pass on that generational harm. So
and that's
for
the
me,
problem, though.
why are they not doing what Jordan's doing? Why are other men not doing what Jordan's doing?
Yeah, that's the main problem. None of them want to. None of them want to fix it. None of them want to see, like, I don't want to be what my father was. So let me go get the help. Oh, but therapy is boring. Therapy is for weirdos. Therapy is for people who got mental issues. No, it's not. Therapy is to cleanse yourself and to heal yourself. Right. And what your problem is, and that way you make sure you're not who didn't raise you. Why continue that cycle? Break it.
We got to keep it a stack. That's what's cool in Black culture. For Black men, it's very uncool to sit down and process your feelings. For Black men, it's very uncool to hold each other accountable for the shit that you did. And that's what I'm tip of the stack. Michelle know me. When I talk to Jordan, I'll be like, Jordan, I gotta ask you a question. After the R. Kelly case, I went straight. I said, I think R. Kelly happened before COVID, so I didn't get to ask Jordan this. I asked somebody else. But this was the baby. When the baby came on live with Danny Lay at 2 a.m. with her baby and was trying to kick her out of the house, the rapper.
Yep.
I went to Jordan, and after I said, Jordan, I gotta ask you. He said, what? I said, what do y'all talk about at the barbershop? What do y'all talk about?
Ass and
Y'all
titties.
get into it. Y'all be like,
Ass
yo,
and
do you see
titties.
this crazy
That's
shit?
all they talk
The
about.
bank
Ass
did
and
the
titties.
other day. Yo, men are not holding each other accountable the way women hold
Yes,
each
say
other
that
accountable.
again.
Men are not holding each other accountable the way women are holding each other accountable. And I know that is a generational trauma and harm. Nigga, the music. I'm sorry, Michelle knows. I throw everything is connected for me. So anytime my mind is thinking, I'm like, boop, 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 boop. Right now, we are having a cultural conversation between Drake and Kendrick Lamar. All of the people who are glazing Drake, I'm looking at all these men like, yo, bro, do you understand that all of y'all are headed for 40? All of y'all don't got wives. All of y'all maybe y'all got kids, but these are not families. And all of y'all are calling Kendrick corny because he's telling you that as men, you should be at home holding yourself accountable to your family. But all of our Black men are like, did y'all see Cameron and Mace? Nah, I wasn't feeling that, bro. What the fuck? This is what I mean. When you leave men to their own devices, they turn into Drake.
Oh, Jesus.
Drake.
Yep.
Drake, and I'm like, I told my friend, I said, yo, bro, why would you want this for yourself? This man is being accused of being a pedophile.
Idolize the wrong celebrity.
And, bro, and the only reason that Drake can't break the pedophile rumor is because Drake has never been in a healthy adult relationship. We've never witnessed him be with a woman, partner with a woman, sacrifice for a woman, coalesce to a woman, be chivalrous to a woman. Drake is the fuckboy.
Just like the whole shit with Ciara, Russell, and Future. Every guy hates Russell. They like, oh, Russell, this Russell is horrible.
Exactly
but y'all on Future's penis, like y'all sucked it yourself. Like, what is why do you think Future is any better than Russell when Russell's actually showing how he loves his woman, his wife?
It's even past that. Russell is building a family. Russell took Future's son. He took your son, and he's building a family. He's like, no. Future Junior, don't look over there.
Look over here. Let me show you what it's like to be a real man. But y'all want to
really dogging that shit out.
Men
are really dogging that shit out. And I'm looking at men like, you're the victims of your own lives. You guys are conspiring against yourselves.
I'm telling you. It's so
look at Drake. The man can't shake the pedophile rumors because he never been with no woman.
Right.
If anybody's seen him, tell me. You're almost 40. You're almost 40, bro.
Someone said on the live, they said
bet you J. Cole got a girl. Kendrick got a girl. J. Cole and Kendrick are both men with families. Drake, you don't think
Kendrick been with his girl since high school.
Bruh, you look weird. So really, any man that's not talking to a family eventually ends up looking like a fucking creep, a pedophile, a psycho, a weirdo. They can't make it to 40 without making those words. Are you kidding? Like what? Because Diddy didn't even bother. Diddy didn't even bother to marry a woman and settle down. Jay-Z smart enough to know. Jay-Z smart enough. As a man in the industry, the next natural progression for you is to get married. And if you don't get married, you eventually end up looking like a weirdo.
Someone said
that's the truth on both sides.
Someone said we as men are so cursed by our older generation.
It's a choice. Tell them I said it's a choice.
You heard her. She said it's a choice, and it is a choice because you don't have to be. Y'all can fix it. Y'all can fix it.
You have two options.
That's the thing. Y'all want us to fix. I'm gonna let you finish. I'm Amanda. Y'all want us to come healed, prepared, ready, in order, together, everything. But y'all don't even want to fix yourself.
They want a woman. They want a woman to submit. They want a woman to submit, but don't give them something to submit to.
You want me to submit to
Trump? For me to submit to you, I have to look up to you. And for me to look up to you, I have to respect you. And for me to respect you, you have to respect yourself.
Period. Absolutely.
Come on, I'm looking at guys like, y'all feel like this shit is hard. Y'all feel like this shit is hard, and it's not, and that's why y'all look weird, because it's not hard.
It's not hard.
You gotta heal yourself. Gotta heal yourself.
Someone said that's a lie. If it's a lie, then tell me the truth then.
Tell me the truth. I love
that's
truth.
Definitely not. I don't think that's a lie at all. I hear so many guys sit here and say that they want their woman to, like, or not even that they want, or that they expect their woman to be a specific way and to come have everything. You want us to mother, you want us to nurture you, but after a certain time, what are we mothering and nurturing? Someone who's broken and doesn't want to fix themselves? I'm not going to sit here and nurture that. I'm going to point out what it is you have problems with. Right. I'm going to point out what you have problems with, and I'm going to ask you to address it. And I want you to address it, not with just me.
Correct.
With your homeboys, not with your barber, not with the niggas you play basketball with. Go to a professional and figure it out. Just like how I'm going to a professional and getting past my trauma. Do the same thing. What's the problem? But go ahead, Amanda. What you was going to say? Because Amanda was going to say something. What you said?
I just want to elaborate on what Catherine said when she said it's a choice. My mom always said this growing up. She constantly used to say that children will do as you do, not as you say. But 1000%. she was the polar opposite of her mother. So it's like, the way I see it, you have a choice. You can either continue the generational trauma, subject your child to the same pain you felt growing up in a single parent household, or you can step up. And that applies to both men and women. Hence why I said my mother was the polar opposite of her mother. Even though she constantly said, children do as you do, not as you say, but she didn't do as her mother did. She did the polar opposite because she didn't want us to feel what she felt as a child growing up. So it's like everything in life is a choice. As she said, you have the choice. You can, do the same things your father did, or you can choose to break that generational curse and do differently. Like, I've broken my own generational curses, and my mother has, and, things of that nature. And these are things that we're doing without even realizing it. So it's like, if we as women can do it, men can do it as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mr. Walker said the bar is raised too high for the younger men. Somebody else said that we was taught to be so hard and rocky, but we never learned to accept genuine love from their woman.
Okay.
Someone else said get you a better man. Somebody else,
there are better men.
Because there are a lot of better men.
There are better men. Because all these things are excuses. And I'm sorry. It's not my intention to offend anyone, but these are excuses. Nobody has your arms bound or your legs tied. So all these things that you're telling yourself is stopping you from being a better version of yourself, that is a cop-out. You're copping out. And anyone who's copping out, come so I can show you how you're copping out, because that's not fair. Everyone here is talking about how they went and worked on themselves, and you telling me some shit like, "Oh no, we was raised to be hard, so we don't know." Basketball. How you read a book? You learn how to walk. One step at a time. Don't do that. Hold yourself accountable, please.
Correct.
Right.
Learn to be soft. It's okay to be soft.
Cry. What's wrong with crying? I actually think crying is a sign of strength. I think crying.
But that's society. That's societal. That's that generational. Lord. It's the way society deems, like, women were emotional and men are logical. So logically make sense. If you're logical, you're going off of societal roles. But if you're a logical person, what is the logical reason for you choosing not to A, hold yourself accountable, B, make the sacrifices and the changes? Like, you are your own enemy. You're stopping your own growth.
Right.
Blocking your blessings, I believe that how that one goes. You're blocking your blessings. Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Absolutely.
Exactly.
So I like that question, Michelle. That was a good question.
Well, we
I want to find that man.
That was deep.
It's easy. Just a second.
That was deep.
But the
because we still have no real logical answer though.
We don't. And any guys who want to join in on the live, y'all could join in and y'all could say y'all piece. Like, please do. So we're not scared on this side. Y'all go ahead and say what y'all gotta say.
No.
Another controversial question. Are you, I guess it's not controversial, but are you scared to date again after having a child with someone who you thought would have been your forever?
No.
Good.
I wouldn't be.
Good.
I ain't scared.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Get out there, find new people, new people alert.
Yep.
New people alert.
People alert.
People alert. Okay, so that was really easy. The next one.
Yep.
Another controversial one that I've heard somebody say. You trapped him.
Yes.
What do you say to men who say this shit? You
men be trapping the women too.
Shut the fuck up, because ain't nobody trapping no grown ass
trying to trap
men
women
be trapping the women too.
Period.
I got trapped. He saw what he had. He said she's not going nowhere.
She's not going nowhere.
I got trapped. Yes, people trap OD. And then gaslight you into thinking that it was your idea, or turn into a complete narcissist and drive you crazy the entire time.
Right. Woo,
right.
That word.
Right.
Baby.
Sorry, I'm just answering.
Which also it also ties into what Captain said earlier. Men are territorial, are they not? So hello.
Which I think is a good thing. I think territorial men is a good thing.
To a certain extent. If you are a good human being, forget the fact that you're a man. Like women are territorial too, but it has to come from a place of genuine love. It has to come from a place of you're not my property. I love you. I want to be with you. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. I want to grow with you. I want to big you up while you big me up. I want to fill your cup while you fill my cup. Yeah, absolutely. Then, but it can't be on some, oh, she's mine, but I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that and I'm gonna do her and I'm gonna do her. No,
you know.
But that's the problem.
Nick Cannon. That's that Nick Cannon concept that's going on over there. Like, no.
Lord Jesus.
Don't get me started on that.
Disgusting.
There's so many guys
I don't understand what's happening there. Because it's not just him. You guys know Elon Musk got like 16 kids.
He does?
It's not just him. It's a thing. And there's somebody else who got mad kids too that caught me off guard, had me like, wait, what? It's a thing. There's some men who are, I want to find the right word to use to describe it. It looked like they're addicted to spreading their seed, or they're like, it's like a fetish for them. Like, I don't know what's happening, but it's a thing. There are men who are determined to spread their seed as far as they can.
Somebody said well, that's like something that has happened in the past. Like, that's something that they were doing back in the days, like biblical times, where people were just having a bunch of wives or a bunch of girlfriends and just having kids. So why not now?
Because you, one, can't maintain multiple households financially, because two, you can't be in multiple households for Christmas, birthdays, New Year's. So who is feeling it the worst? The child. Children.
Yeah.
I feel like unless your plan is to bring everybody together.
Polygamy. Right. Yeah, polygamy is normal in a lot of other societies. Like, I'm from Nigeria. In Nigeria, polygamy is normal. Muslim Nigerian families, the husband can have up to 4 wives. It's either 4 or 5. I don't remember the number, but in the Muslim faith, it is a thing. You can have up to 5 wives. And the only prerequisite that's required for you to maintain this household is that you can financially maintain the household. So monogamy is something that was actually created. It's an aberration. It was created for poor men. I'm sorry, poor men. It was created for poor men. Men who had money were typically allowed to have multiple wives, and then everyone lived on the same compound. So it's not this thing now with Nick and them where they flying across the country into different countries. The women live together, the children live together. The man maintained. We got the man in Africa. He had like 53 wives, something crazy, but he was like a billionaire. and African standards. So, no. Sorry, I lost my thought. But in general,
but
no,
that
I'm
I
sorry, I
think is
really
the
lost
whole
my thought.
thing. Like, if you're going to be on that type of timing where you want to have all these kids, understand Nicholas Cannon can pay for these children. They're all over the
Money is
place,
not
yes,
even it.
and probably in a perfect world, they would all be in the same state, right next to each other, maybe in the same cul-de-sac if he could, and they'll all be in the same area with no problems in a perfect world. But that's just not
That's not the world we live
that's
in.
not the world we live in, and that is not going to happen.
Wow.
The next question is, do you ever feel like trying it again, a second chance with your child's father? Shay said no. Hell no. No.
You said, oh no, not that man.
No. You good? You off that? You good off that one?
Yeah, what are you doing?
It's shaking
Every
out of
time
head.
she wrote, she said,
No, I'm good.
Good off it.
All right, we ain't gotta answer.
Well, you know me, it's me and Jordan forever. Riding to the gates of hell.
She said
So
no,
let's
that
say we
was
won't
it.
have more kids.
The no was loud enough.
She said no.
The no was loud enough. Okay, so the last one, and if y'all have any controversial questions that y'all want to ask them, do you ever feel like, and I guess this is not controversial, but I guess this is a question nonetheless, right? Do you ever feel like you let your child down by not having a two-parent household?
Can I comment first? I'm gonna say no, because I gave enough space and opportunity to be relevant and be more active and be there to be in their lives. You know, what you choose to do as a person is on you. You know, like, I just feel like I'm not the person to make you. I'm not gonna wring your neck and drag you. You gotta be a dad. No, nigga, you know what the fuck you're supposed to do. Okay? I know what I gotta do. You know what you're supposed to be doing. What you choose to do, that's on you. What you choose not to do, that's on you. I don't feel like I let my child down. You know why? Because he has a structural home.
Right.
You know, he has a mother. He sees her. She's working hard. You know, she's been going to school. She's doing what she has to do. So he knows, hands down, my mom got this shit. He may not say it, you know, and he gets to see his father, but I don't feel like I let him down. I'll speak on my behalf. I don't feel like I let my child down at all, because now he's at the age where I'm able to talk to him about certain things. You know, like one day he asked me, you know, why don't you love my father? Me and daddy had it rough. I'm not about to get into a whole detail about it. And I told him, I'm not getting into detail. Me and daddy had it rough, you know, and life hearted us, and it was supposed to be that way. I said, but that doesn't take away the love that he has for you, and it doesn't take away the love that I have for you. You know, I'm not the parent where I'm a badmouth him and bash him or anything like that, because that's not my part. I don't need to play that kind of bitter ass baby mother. No, I don't do all that. My child know this is his safe haven right here, and he's good.
He's solid where he at.
You know, he still got his dad. He won't call away if need be. He wants to see his dad, and he want, you know, he knows how to get in contact. You know, he's at this age now, he can get in contact. So, nah, I ain't let my child down. He good.
He's straight. He good, and he is like,
he's straight.
You know, he's good. Someone asked a question: do y'all feel like men block their own blessings?
Yeah.
Yes, indeedy, pumpkin eaty.
Yes,
all the time.
I do. Absolutely.
Thanks for asking. That's top.
Thanks for asking.
Thanks for coming to get the group consensus.
Thanks for my TED Talk. Thanks for my little TED Talk. And that was that. Don't y'all block your own blessings, because y'all don't, like we said, I think we said it enough to
on
where
so many different ways.
In so many different ways. It really starts with accountability. Take accountability for what you didn't do, whether that's in the relationship with we're talking about moms and being a single mother, but just in general, like, you know, we're talking about women. You take accountability for what you did wrong in the relationship and make sure you don't let it happen again in the next one. And you can only do that by putting yourself in the position to be around people who think the way that you want to think. It's like it's like an alcoholic who's a recovering alcoholic. who has been sober for 8 years. They're not going to go into a bar with a bunch of other people who are drinking, knowing that they may possibly get a drink. They're going to keep themselves out of that type of situation. If they're around friends who constantly drink, they're not going to keep going around friends who constantly drink. They're going to find friends who are either sober for as many years as they've been, or they're just going to find friends who just don't drink as often or respect their boundary of, hey, I can't, I'm good. I don't want to go back down that road. You can't keep putting yourself around men who don't want to see, who don't have the same mindset as you or where you want to go. Like,
right.
Y'all know the gentleman that I'm talking to. Hey, boo. And he and he, what I didn't pay attention to until me and him started dating and started having the conversation was who he hangs around and who his friends are. All his friends are married. All his friends are in steady and stable relationships. If I compare, and this is probably the one time that I did kind of do a little, well, not the one time, but I've compared him to my previous relationship. The last one, friends, some, not all, were married, cheating on their wives, had girlfriends doing what they were doing, were outside all hours of the night, and he's doing the same thing. So it's like your friends, you're gonna be a mirror image of your friends. So if you know that's not the type of lifestyle that you're trying to live and you want to change it, change who you hang around.
It's kind of like I support that 1,000,000%. Like Michelle, you quite literally couldn't have said that any better. You could, like, people have to choose people who share their priorities.
Right.
Find people who want the same things in the future that you do, and not for nothing, your relationship will be so easy and so not complicated. Because even when you're mad at each other, you still want all the same things.
Right.
Like we still want. So yeah, that for the man who said, "Are men blocking their blessings?" Yes, but more than likely, it's happening because you're surrounded by other men who are not linear with the things that you want. Like, what barbershop are you going to? Is the barbershop full of husbands? Right. I don't know. Well, I feel like when we go to the nail salon and the hair salon, we really get into it. Like, we really, women talk our shit. Like, we that's our therapy. So for men, it's the same thing, but y'all are cracking jokes. Like, y'all are really in there. After everything that's happened, y'all still think this shit is funny? Like,
right.
Yo, this boy going home with his wife. This nigga don't got no life. He can't do shit.
Yeah.
He ain't supposed to be doing all that shit. What you mean?
Like, he's a husband. He's going to go home.
All right. I have a question to ask the group because I got into this with a whole gang of men.
Oh, shit.
So I got a question for the group. It's a scenario. So a group of guys are all close friends. One of the guys start dating a girl. The guy and the girl date for, let's call it a year. After the year of them dating, they break up. Like, they sever their tie. One of the guys that's been close friends, I call it a group of 5 guys. One of the guys that's been friends with the guy, eventually he starts talking to that girl and they start dating. This is a real scenario that happened. They start dating. So the guy that was originally dating the girl is now looking at his man's like, you can't date her. I used to date her. You can't date her. And I disagreed with that. And all the men disagreed with me.
That he couldn't date the girl.
That his friend couldn't date his ex. I disagreed with him. I found the entire notion nonsensical, almost idiotic. How does the group feel? I could be wrong too.
Feel like if you were in a relationship, like that was your man, like y'all, that was boyfriend, girlfriend, then no. If y'all were just talking and it didn't get anywhere, go ahead. That's how I see it.
The only reason
how
I'm
tight was the relationship between the friends?
It was a good relationship. It was a good relationship. It was the reason that I disagreed with them was because I feel like friendships are important. Yes. But I feel like when we grow up in this world, our friendships are the people that we are safe with while we learn ourselves. But the purpose of us growing up is so we can find a partner and have children. Now, the likelihood that you're going to find your soulmate is like slim to none. But what if you meet a guy and the guy that you meet walks you up to your soulmate? And now the guy that you meet that walks you up to your soulmate, like say you guys really enjoyed everything together, but he don't want no kids and you are desperate for children. The relationship severs, but his friend who you know as well and you built a friendship with, he also wants children and you two like each other. Are we saying that men should remain loyal to their friendships instead of getting with a woman that will lead to their children and then their nuclear family? Are we okay with the fact that men are choosing each other over women?
I think I would act like, yo, bro, you couldn't choose somebody else.
What if it's Jordan is my whole soulmate. Jordan is my whole soulmate. But I could have met Jordan's brother before I met Jordan. And me and Jordan's brother could have been mad cool with each other. Mad cool. But say Jordan's brother want to move to Florida. And I that is not on my list of priorities for my life. I'm never leaving New York. And then Jordan's brother moves to Florida and I still know Jordan and we still vibe and we still share priorities. I cannot pursue that relationship with Jordan. Well, that's brothers. That's different. Brothers is like, no. But you're telling me if I met a man, because, we all meet people all the time. Mm-hmm. If I met a man and me and him was but at a certain point, I realized that we didn't share priorities. So there's no way this relationship can work. And then one of his friends, not only do I share our priorities with him, but we were able to maintain a friendship. Don't be together. Don't be together. Don't be together. Let them keep their romance.
I don't know.
I think
they'll help each other till they're 70.
Topic,
they'll help each other till they're 80.
It's touchy because
they will share bunk beds in the nursing home. They will share bunk beds in the No, this is because I really be talking to people and I'm like, wait, guys, what the fuck? What are we talking about right now? Are you two gonna stay together forever and any woman that comes cannot separate your friendship?
Answer this question, gentlemen, please.
I think that's a question we gotta ask the men. I don't know. That's kind of touchy because
I said I have a good question.
You could be like,
but and
fucked up, but then the it's way like also reality. Though, I don't know.
The way I see it though is flip the perspective. Say this is your homegirl. Would you still have the same feelings, the same
and
opinions
that's why I
if
said
it was the
it's
shoe or it was the other way around? Because us girls, we're gonna be like that, and then after that, like, okay, let's say like, all right, they're in a relationship. This is their person, right? As a man, I'm not gonna bring none of my dudes around her again if she was already homie hopping. Right or wrong?
Yeah.
I mean, what's homie hopping? Like, is if you're frivolously dating all the men in the group. I don't think that's what I'm describing.
That same. No, I get you're not describing it in that sense, but it's still gonna give off that same vibe. All right, I met you because you were dating one of my boys. That didn't work out. Year 2 later, you and I get together. I'm never gonna trust you around any of my other boys because who's to say you don't hit it off with somebody else if we don't work out? You get what I'm saying? That's how I see it in my head.
But if you guys share priorities with one another, it's not about hitting it off.
People change.
It's like
people change. People grow apart. Okay, they're together for 5 years. Let's say they don't work out. They fall apart. You gonna have it in the back of your head, like, yo, she dating one of my friends now.
When people break up, at least one person doesn't want to be there anymore. So when people break up, at least one person doesn't want to be there anymore. The other person that still wants to be in the relationship, that man is marking his territory against every man in his world. He's saying, oh, she doesn't want to be with me? Oh, that's perfect. She won't be with anybody. Unless she goes and finds a whole new social circle, a whole new group of friends, a whole new group of people. I pissed on her. Nobody touch her. Nobody touch that. Are we good with that?
I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm gonna keep it. I ain't gonna lie. I just when it comes down to friends and just the circle, after a year, it's still fresh. But I just kind of felt like, nah, bro, don't do that. Nah. Bro, don't talk to her.
Fair enough.
Don't do that. Because I felt like it may be a little too personal. You know, within that year, what did they share? You know, like what happened? What actually transpired for them to stop dating or stop talking? I don't know. I just don't.
There's gonna be
Because
too many things in the back of your mind.
I had intent on really fucking with her. You know what I'm saying? And we don't know if it went chaotic or went softly. I just felt like, nah, bro, you know, I was really close with that. Like, just nah, don't do that.
I don't know.
So,
I just feel like
so we're saying that the overarching goal is not family. Everybody is not, and that's a fair statement to make. Like, I'm not going to take that away from anybody. As you guys can see, I am a principled person, and I pick my principles, and I'm like, no, this is right. And of course, that can't be right. Everybody has an opinion, and it depends on the situation that you're in.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. But I do believe.
But do you think also
all of us are supposed to be? I feel like all of us are supposed to be creating families. Like we're supposed to be creating families, and so many of these societal rules that we've created for each other and with each other is only further hindering our ability to create partnerships. And we're having less children every year, and people are getting married less every year, and people are divorcing faster every year. But I'm not gonna lose my homegirl. Nope, that's my homegirl. She's not going nowhere. No. Come here. Twin gonna be at the nursing home.
Not the bag. Well, let me ask you something.
We're gonna share our Jello.
Do y'all think though, like men have a different outlook on something like that than a woman would?
Yes.
Because you know, like to piggyback off Amanda said, you know, women, we are emotional. You know what I'm saying? And it's more so like, damn girl, you really want to go after my, you know, like why would you? You know, I just had him. Like, why would you want to talk to him? Even though me and him don't share the same, you know, point of views or the same, you know, outlooks in life. It's just kind of like, you know, that was mine, you know, for a year. That was mine.
But
You
if
know,
you
we
don't
was
like them
trying
no more,
to go
why it
somewhere.
matter?
Why
If you
would
don't like,
do
because like I said, when a relationship severs, one person no longer wants to be there. The emotions that you're describing right now are the emotions of the person who wants the person. You're saying like, why would you do that? You know that he was mine. You know he was on my body. Even if we didn't share priorities, he was mine. So right now, I think you're displaying the emotions of the person who still wants to be there. But if we're talking about,
if the person don't want, if it's in that same bracket where it's like, all right, well, I don't want this, I don't want that. And if they don't have a problem with it, fuck it.
But if they have a problem with it, you would understand and respect their problem.
Yeah, if
you
someone
would coalesce to what they wanted because you respected their problem.
Like, you know, no, like I personally, if you were in a relationship with the person, I'm good. I don't want no parts. But if you were talking, like, if you were just talking to them and it didn't go nowhere, and like y'all just dating, and it's just like, oh well, no, I'm good. I didn't think this was gonna go. I didn't think this was gonna happen. Then go ahead, because that could be your person. Who am I to sit here and be like, okay, well, it didn't work out with me and you.
Right, that's true.
It could work out for this person. Now, if I'm dating somebody for years, and then one of y'all go and date my ex, it's like, hello.
Hello. No, years is crazy.
Yeah.
And then I'll throw that caveat in. I think that's an emotional caveat that I think is fair enough. Years is crazy. And if it's a woman to woman thing, and me as the woman, I didn't want to leave that relationship. Like I still want him, and you're my friend. Don't take him because I still want him. Maybe in the future, him and I can work something out.
Could happen,
but having a stronger allegiance to your friend than your possible life partner, I don't know how to describe it, but I feel like something is wrong there.
So
I can agree to that.
We have a guy. Here's Mr. Walker. He's on the live with me now. Go ahead.
Come on, Mr. Walker.
Mr. Walker.
I like his name, Walker.
Walker. Do you hear him?
So what about a situationship? What if they had sex?
That is an aberration of trauma. They said a situationship. That is an aberration of trauma. Please stop doing that. But
what that? What if
What if they had sex?
After?
If they were just talking, I wouldn't care.
Yeah, well, you talking about a one night stand?
And a dating thing happened, and y'all wasn't like it wasn't an actual relationship. I don't care.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, because like I said, who am I to? Yeah, because who am I to sit here and say like, okay, this person could probably be for you. This person wasn't for me, so this person could be for you.
Yeah.
Now, again,
So
if
you
it
go
was a
try it.
relationship, then it's different. But if y'all were
And if
just
I still
talking,
really like him,
and if I still really like him, or that's somebody who I'm trying to figure shit out with, then no, stay in your, stay on your side. But if I said like, nah, I'm good, like I'm straight, you could talk to him. I don't see the
then
problem.
go ahead. All right, so those are the only two paragraphs.
That's just me though. Somebody said situationship is crazy. Someone said, yeah,
There's
no.
a lot of things going on those these days. There's a lot of situationships going on.
There's a lot of situationships going on.
A lot of craziness.
And situationships be causing a lot of trauma and a lot of issues. But
this is the first time I've
no reason
women say that they would date somebody that their friend smashed. This is the first time.
You guys don't do it as men. Y'all don't do it.
Yeah, because men are different. They just different guys. But the crazy thing is, I've known of men that have done that, and the first argument they get into with this particular woman, they bring that shit up. Or whenever they are around this man, they watching Shorty and his interaction with a side eye. Like, why even go through that?
That's true. That is definitely true as well.
That coincides with what I was saying. It's like you're always gonna have that in the back of your mind.
When you say that in the back of your mind, do you mean like you're always going to think that your partner is going to leave you because they left someone to be with you? Is that what you mean when you say that?
No, like he said, like, like side eyeing, like you're gonna have extra precaution because how you met this person was when they were in a relationship with someone else, whether it's years later, like that's still gonna stay in your subconscious mind.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily like I left this person for this other individual.
But wait, we're talking about people who break up completely though, not like y'all together.
Yeah,
and then
that's basically what he's saying. Like like as a man, you're always gonna have like that side eye when she's interacting with other males within the same group setting, things of that nature. So it's like that coincides with what I was saying. Is like you're gonna have these things in your subconscious mind because of they say like how you get them is how you lose them, right? Okay, you guys had you shared the same priorities, same life goals. It didn't work out with his friend, but now who you are in a relationship, I feel like subconsciously you're still gonna have it in the back of your mind. Like I can't necessarily trust this person around my other male associates or friends.
Yeah, that's a little, like coming out of a relationship, like I said, I couldn't talk to one of my friend's exes, like, or baby fathers. I just, because there was something that was there that was just like, okay, it could still be there. There was some deep feelings. It was something y'all were tight. Like it wasn't just like a wham bam thank you ma'am. It was
coming up. The wind is gonna take it.
It was just
none of the cement blocks are holding
out
that
of
down
that
at all.
than just a regular, somebody I just dated and then boom, I moved on. I would definitely look at you differently, huh?
And going back to what you guys discussed earlier, men are very territorial. Like I don't want to share with my friends, especially my woman. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to have a story that I can share how she was throwing that ass back or how she sucked the soul out of me. Like I don't want to share that with my friends. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? At barbecues and shit, we get off in the corner and get to drinking. He say some shit and I gotta end the barbecue. Like, you know what I mean? Like I just
party's done. Everybody go home.
It's over.
Nigga, you took it too far.
Everybody, that's just like nah. Guys have egos. You know what I'm saying? And whatever she with someone that I don't know don't even fucking exist to me. Like that shit is not like, you know what I mean? But if I know you, especially you being my friend, I don't think I could do it.
That's true. Very true. So then going back to our other question, since you're on here and a bunch of other guys are on here, breaking generational curses, and men being in the household. Because that was a whole thing. That was a question that was asked because this is the Mother's Day episode. So these are, Catherine and Shay are moms. So we're, talking to them about being moms or whatever. But being raised by single mothers and men basically just feel like it's like men giving up and allowing for who didn't raise them to keep going on. Like if your father didn't raise you, then now you're not going to raise your kids. And then these kids are going to then grow up to not want to raise their children because they just don't see it happening. But at what point do they stop doing that? Like, how do y'all break that from happening? Do they ever grow up?
It's as simple as that. Like, yo, and this goes back to something I typed earlier. Like, the bar is set so high that motherfuckers is used to limboing. Like, yo, you don't have to limbo. Grow the fuck up and walk up under this pole. Like, you don't have to bend and sneak around and do whatever. Like, I think men will actually, when they ready to grow up and take on a responsibility like that, then they will. But until then, motherfuckers gonna be sneaky and tiptoe around growing up. You know what I'm saying? And like breaking a generational curse, I think that's things that a lot of people aren't ready to do, especially in a certain age. Like I think it's gonna get worse before it get even better with men.
You think so?
Yeah. Because I mean, like we discussed, Shelly, like that grandpa and grandma love don't exist like that.
They don't. That grandpa and grandma love don't exist.
Yes, and now in a certain age bracket, like you got less and less people staying together. So it's less and less kids seeing like a strong Black family. You know what I'm saying? Even though this woman she pissed me off the other night. Every Friday, I'm still changing the roses in the vase, like that sits on the island of our table. Or I'm bringing home her favorite ice cream. Or, even though she pissed me off, I'm going to still be the man that is in a relationship with her or that's married to her. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think less, kids is not seeing that anymore. Like they see it in the movies, you know what I'm saying? But like in their face every day, it's just not happening anymore.
That's true. Somebody said, let me add to what you said, bro. Some niggas got to reach rock bottom and realize it's only their kids still there. That shit hit different. Yeah. But I think like what we were all saying basically is that like taking accountability has to happen. Like as men, and I said there's more men on here now, y'all need to take accountability for what y'all are not doing. And realize that we can't do but so much. We could suggest going to therapy. We could suggest you talking to certain people. We could suggest a bunch of things, but it's not up to us to fix you. You got to fix you. And if you don't see that you need to do that, then we're always going to be butting heads. We're always going to have this problem.
Therapy is real. That's real.
You have to go to therapy. Everybody needs therapy. Everyone. I don't care what nobody says. Every motherfucker on the planet needs therapy. You need to talk to somebody because we all.
Conversation,
though. It is a different conversation.
Yeah,
but it's true.
And like talk therapy does when you say therapy, Michelle, are you saying that you feel like everyone needs to, like, I don't know, it's like you feel like everyone needs to go to a therapist, like the money and time necessary to invest in the money, a therapist.
And then you also need self what is it? those retreat, like those self-retreat things for yourself.
Self-development or something
Yeah,
like
like
that?
self-development, like go into, I think there's one like in Vegas or something like that, where you can even just, they
I
have
just
like
feel like
programs and stuff like that too,
the solution can't be financial,
no, it doesn't always have
because
to be
it kind
financial
of
either.
creates a barrier for those who don't have the money.
But it
And
doesn't
I
have to
don't
be
think there
financial
has to be
either. Right. You need an unbiased opinion, even if you can't afford it, or
even if it's not a
have the insurance.
therapist,
Right. You can have a
find
friend.
a
You have
person.
a
Yeah,
tight friend
somebody
that
that you
will speak
respect.
some real shit to you and will tell you, like,
Mhm.
bro, you're bugging. Or girl, like, you need to really stop doing that, because that's not helping you in any type of situation. Like, we do that. Like, I know for females, as at least for my female group, we point each other's shit out and we tell her, okay, you need to stop doing that. That's gonna be the reason why the X, Y, and Z is happening, or this is why you can't get what you want out of life. But it's just like I was saying, like the little example that I gave, like, you can't sit here and want to change and want to be a different man when you keep putting yourself around the same people who are the people that you're not trying to be no more. The person that you're not trying to be no more. Like, you can't want to be a married man, want to be a faithful man, wanting to be a godly man if that's what you're looking for. And then you're hanging around hoes and tricks all day.
Yeah, no.
It's not going to
Like
work.
losing weight in a bakery. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. That's a bad strategy. It's not going to work. Don't do that. Don't do that.
The rush.
I agree.
It's for men hang around other men that are whores for the stories. Like, I know people that live through other people that are whores. Like, yo, it's been times friends ask, like, yo, I seen a girl that you on a date with. And I was like, yeah, she's cool. The dinner was great. And, yo, fuck all that. You smashed? How was it? Like, tell me, please. Tell me all the details.
Oh my God.
Ask Mr. Walk about the barbershop conversations.
Yeah,
Because,
actually, you saw me
in the
say, oh my
barbershop.
God, what are y'all talking about in the barbershop? Because like Michelle said, I feel like we do a decent job of trying to hold each other accountable. If I'm at the hair salon right now and Shorty walk into the hair salon and she starts talking to the hairdresser and she talking about how she got into a fight the other day with one of her friends because her friend got real drunk, and then she got drunk too, but she didn't know. I'm gonna be like, girl, I'm not gonna lie to you. I wouldn't fight my friend if I was drunk, or I'd try my best not to. Or if I did fight her, I'd be ready to apologize for whatever happened because I was drunk. Like, we jump into each other's conversations. So what do y'all do at the barbershop? We want to understand where are men holding each other accountable? Where does that happen?
Well, I almost expect all the barbers to be some corny, telling ass niggas. Like, every barber is like, he's your therapist, but he's also a fucking clown. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've sat in the chair of barbers while they show me videos and pictures of local yokels. Like that's just, it's almost like, and I'm not gonna throw anybody under the bus, but in the barbershop, you got the guys that, run their mouth, the regulars that come every week, that are players that spill the beans, that fill you in and all the shit that you didn't see. And then you got the guys that listen and laugh. And then it's the older men, like, damn, dog, like, I don't want to hear that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's the same, guys aren't too far off from, the barbershop isn't too far off of the fucking hair salon. Like, it's the same shit. It's the same shit. You got cackling ass men, like, you got cackling ass women that tell all they fucking business.
That's a fact. That's definitely a fact. But the barbershop is a guy's tell-all. Yeah, we know. Y'all be telling everything in the barbershop.
But let me tell you this. See, that's my older brother, when I was in high school, he was like, yo, older chicks like you, the 12th graders, 11th graders, if they give you some ass, no matter how you perform, if you do not tell anyone, you can continue to get it. But the moment you tell and that shit get around the town, you're finished. I'm telling you.
True.
I'm telling you.
True.
like a lot of men just, it's another notch on their belt, especially if they dealing with something that everybody else wants. A lot of motherfuckers can't wait to tell.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's, but you got to choose wisely, women.
We do. It's not much to choose from, but whatever.
So basically, they don't talk to each other about accountability at the barbershop.
Men?
Yeah.
She said she's not in a barbershop, no. But
so where do you guys go to hold yourselves accountable?
Well, my friends come to me. When they want to hear that real shit, I'm not like Shelly. We did the show there. Like I'm in the crib by myself. I don't invite a bunch of people over. Like I just want to have real conversations with real people. Like, and my couch is like I don't get any money for the truth,
Mm-hmm.
But it's a lot of motherfuckers that come and lay on that bitch and tell me they, and you got to be held accountable. Mm-hmm. Not just for men, but women as well. Like, men, a lot of people know when they did some fucked up shit or they doing some fucked up shit.
Mm-hmm.
But they just, like, it's another part of them that's overpowering the real.
Mm-hmm.
So, some men do. Like, I have 2 friends, actually, that come to me and they tell me some fucked up shit. And I know they want me to tell them the truth. Like, yo, dog, what are you doing here? Like, like, go home. Mm-hmm. Like, don't, so, and like you said, therapy is important. That shit is important. I did it for a year and a half because I was just like, yo, I'm going to pay this money. I'm going to sign this non-disclosure agreement. So that means anything I tell this man, he can't repeat. I can't be arrested for. And I laid on that couch, falling asleep at times, spilling my guts. And I think every man should do that, especially Black men.
Definitely. Black men definitely need to do it because they got a lot on their head, a lot on their mind that they just don't want to talk to or feel like a safe place to talk about it. But
can we discuss that with you women and like we discussed, Shelly, on the show, like being afraid that you women are going to take advantage of being vulnerable and expressing our feelings to you and our deepest, darkest secrets. Because y'all could get mad sometime and be like, say some shit that we told y'all, that bothered us.
Yeah.
So can we trust y'all enough? Can we trust women enough to hold those secrets and not use it for evil, but for good?
Right.
And absolutely. If you're choosing the right woman, the same way we have to choose the right man, you guys have to choose the right woman, because there are, fucked up individuals in general that will take, either your past or something you said in confidence and throw it in your face out of anger. Yeah. That shows their maturity level. It depends on the person. You can't even say the woman or the man. The person in general, it depends on the person. You have to know there has to be that level of respect, maturity, mutual understanding, and priorities and foundation. Like, all right, y'all really want to build, you have to have these uncomfortable ass conversations, but it has to be with the right person. And it also has to be in the right setting. You can't force nobody to talk. You can't, it all depends on the situation and the person.
True.
I agree, Amanda.
Definitely true.
And I just want to, since now that I'm talking, I just want to piggyback back to what we were talking about, breaking the generational curses, a single parent household. I think, and I say single parent household because there's a lot of single fathers out there as well.
Mm-hmm.
People in general have to realize that it's never too late to mend, build, and have a relationship with your child.
Right.
And I think that's a problem society has now, is like, but my son is grown. He don't want to know who his father is, or, things of that nature. And it's never too late, because having that relationship I do now with my father I'm 110% grateful for it. I've always had this relationship with my mother and this bond with my mother, but now having it with my father is like, okay, we didn't build and bond until I was in my early 20s, but he's still my father. I still have that father-daughter relationship even now as an adult daughter. So it's never too late, regardless of the age. That's your child, and it is your job as a parent to work for that relationship with your child. I don't feel like a child should have to chase their parent at all, no matter the age, whether they're adults or not. But you, at the same token, you know, the parent has to realize that it will never be too late because that is your child for life.
You gotta have patience too, because they're not.
I totally agree with that sentiment.
They're
Totally.
not going to they're not going to they may not be receptive of it right off the bat. You gotta you gotta give them the space to want to see you because honestly, you gotta, again, be honest with yourself. All these years you haven't been showing up. All these years you was doing what you wanted to do. So you can't just automatically think that, all right, let me give it a shot. And if they turn me down, well then fuck it. At least they can say that I tried. Well, no, you gotta keep
you have
trying.
to keep trying.
Right.
Exactly. And if they're not going to be receptive in the beginning. I wasn't receptive in the beginning.
Right.
My little sister's still not receptive at all. But you have to be consistent when you weren't inconsistent. Now you have to make up for your inconsistencies by being consistent. You have to continuously try, no matter what, because your child felt neglected. So now you have to let them know, like, I know where I messed up. I love you, period. And I'm still going to fight for this no matter what. And you have to take all of, you know, they build a wall. You have to deal with that because you built that wall. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it takes consistency no matter what, no matter the age, no matter what. It takes effort, real effort.
Right. And I guess the last question, because then we can wrap this up, but this was good though. I like this whole conversation though.
Yeah, this was so fun.
Right. The last question, do single mothers make it hard for the fathers to be present when they're trying to be in their child's life? Like, so, and I'll put this as an example, and then y'all could, say what y'all got to say. Mr. Walker, you could say what your part too.
Really?
You could say your part too. If you had, I mean, just from friends or just things that you've seen. So I know of someone who basically said, if I can't have you, your child can't be around you. And felt that way because, like, I guess she felt like I've done everything for you. I've been there. I've been, whatever. Our relationship didn't work. But if you think you're about to go and be in another relationship, back to what we were saying in our episode, Mr. Walker, about how like all the things that we've done for you and then being scared to give that to another woman. But now you do see some, not all, single moms that are on some, well, shit, you're not gonna see your son then. If you don't want to be with me, then you ain't gonna see your kid. Do you think there's a lot of women who are on that type of timing nowadays? Like, you need to have, either you're gonna pay me, is one of the two ways that's gonna happen. Either it's gonna come from your pocket, or you're not gonna see your child at all, in order for there to be some type of peace in the household, or just between the both of you.
I think that's only with women that use their child as like a tool.
That's why I said trapped. If you get trapped, that's exactly what you're going to get, because she trapped you for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
No, I've seen it. Like, it's beyond crazy. Like, girl, you're not for real. Like, seriously? But they be dead ass.
That's a bit. Yeah, that's bitter. That's a bitter one. Damn, that shit's scary.
And it's so common too that it's sad. and it's like it's 50-50. My mom was never that type of woman, but I've seen other women like that. You know what I'm saying? It's sad
Same here.
because it's so
Definitely.
common now in society.
I also do think some of it can also be learned behavior. You know, you do have some young people who are, you know, raising kids and they've seen their parents go through it. So they believe that that's the way it's supposed to be done. In all reality, no, it's not.
Right.
Yeah. Definitely trauma.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think you're only hurting your child. You think you hurting him. You're not hurting him as much as you hurting that kid.
Because the child is going to grow up.
It's going to be a child going to grow up that's going to resent him. And then when he or she gets older and then they're able to have that conversation with dad and they find out, no, mom just kept me away from you. And then everybody else that was in your father's life can attest to it. Now your child hates
your mother's in trouble.
Right. Now the child hates
mother's in big trouble.
Why would you do that?
And it just creates trauma because if that child is a boy, that boy will start to hate women.
Yes.
It creates trauma. It creates trauma. That's why I said situationships, leave it alone. All these weird, unhealthy aberrations that we're doing and normalizing. Somebody got to be brave enough to stand in a room full of people and say, y'all, this is going to end terribly. Like, let's not do this.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know my children were losing their minds.
Because of all these songs that these kids are listening to, that definitely plays a part in it, normalizing the fucking bullshit.
Ooh, that's a good one, Mr. Walker. That leads me to a very good question.
The R&B songs, the rap songs, like that shit is like, and it's all day, every day. That's why like R&B records aren't even real R&B records anymore. Like you just might as well fucking have Snoop Dogg singing like a Chris Brown song, cause it's like, yo, threesomes, popping pills, smoking weed. Like, yo,
that's it.
You listen to like the old R&B songs, Otis Redding, fucking Marvin Gaye. You know, all of those records, they was talking about courting a woman, falling in love, all of that shit. Not like
Mr. Walker
and your friend.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but I'm interested to know, why do you think that change happened? Why do you think the music? Oh, Jesus, stop playing.
Why do I think it's changed?
Yeah, like why is it that we don't have a new Otis Redding? Why don't we have a new Pendergrass? Why don't we have a new?
Well, we do. They're not on the main stage. You got to go looking for that music. You know what I'm saying? So
why?
Because it just doesn't sell. And a lot of kids nowadays, even if you listen to like the new rappers, it's dumbed down since like Biggie or Nas. They don't rap the same. They're not rapping about
I don't think it.
Nas' first album, he was talking about the projects, right? But the second album, he was talking about not living in the projects no more and driving a certain type of car and going back to visit, but getting the fuck up out of there because he don't belong there anymore. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, record companies everything is microwave. Like, yo, give me the best single that you have. The best single is shooting, killing, drug dealing, and then it's off to the next. Like that's the shit that's selling. You know,
Mr. Walker, that's not what's selling. That's what they are selling. That's what they are marketing to our children. Yeah. And the record labels are they're picking the artists that they believe is going to help them sell the most products. That soulful music that you're talking about doesn't sell products. They have to water down the music and make it really, really catchy. And then they make the artists wear all the clothes that the kids can't afford and make the artists say the things that the kids should not be doing. Because whoever owns the record company owns our children. So it is by intelligent design that the music is destroyed. It is by intelligent design that our children are listening to things that we didn't listen to. And to be quite frank, we're the ones who are letting it happen. Because if you know what good music is, don't play bad music.
Okay.
I got a big problem with Sexy Red, and I think that men created Sexy Red. I think men created
Y'all
Sexy
seen
Red.
Sexy
And
Red
I got
on
a
that
big
country stage?
problem with her.
But see,
Twerking,
that goes back to
splits.
something that we were just talking about. Like,
Mhm.
first of all, the biggest rap artist in the world right now is Drake, and he's promoting.
And we know that's a problem.
He's promoting being
We know that's a problem.
being with different women, right?
Mhm.
But that also goes back to someone that we was just talking about. If you have a real structure in your home, it doesn't matter what your kids is listening to because they seeing different in real life. You understand what I'm saying? Like they seeing daddy go to work. They seeing daddy still being daddy, even though the mama might have pissed him off the night before. So even if your kid is listening to that bullshit, he's seeing real love in real time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? His father still being that guy, but going to work and providing. So fuck what Drake talking about. That shit is make believe. Like,
so how do y'all spread that message to each other? How do y'all men go to each other and talk to the Drakes of your community and coach and promote them moving away from that type of lifestyle? I think as a group, we're establishing that the music is destructive and the lifestyle is destructive. So what do we do? What do we do?
I think we need to show and prove. They need to start more black love, more stand-up men. If you, and listen, this is, I'm not trying to turn this, but I recognize who I am now, right? So in my community, in my hood, like, a lot of the young boys, it's a lot of dudes my age that's still in my hood telling my stories from when I was 15, 16, 17, doing all the wild shit. When they see me, it's a totally like, yo, you can't be the person I heard the story about. Why? Because you see me in my fucking work uniform, or you see me, you know, conducting myself like a grown man. So it don't match up. And then it's like, yo, I see you going to work, or I see you don't be in the hood like that, bro, because I'm at work. I do 60 hours a week. You understand what I'm saying? But when I come around, I look like the boy that been in the hood all day selling that shit. So that's how you can change the minds of you got to be present, you got to come around, and you got to have a different type of vibe about you. You know what I'm saying? You got to show and prove.
That's what me and Jordan are working on. We're trying to do more cookouts, more people coming together so they can bring their kids together. I want my kids to play outside. And every time I think about my kids playing outside, I get nervous. I get scared. I'm like, oh my God, somebody's going to take them up. The only reason nobody was ever afraid of us going outside when we was kids is because other kids were outside.
Right.
We have to do it together. There's no one person that can community build. We have to all together. Like, we want to do I Miss Y2K Day. We want to do a day where we go outside with the kids and it's like hopscotch, double dutch, manhunt, skelzies, all the person-to-person games that we played when we were younger. And we've been wanting to do it for years, but we are becoming more intentional about getting it done because we're recognizing the value in togetherness. We're recognizing how important it is to come around each other and do normal things with each other. So yeah, the music and Sexy Red and men. Why y'all listen to that?
I want to do like a really good
feel like we should do like a community day. Like you said, we really should put together a community day because I do think it's structural and it's what these kids really do need to see.
I remember back in the days for block parties, me and my homegirl, like during the block party, there'd be a dance competition. And the person who won the dance competition, your group get like $50. So for like 3 months before the block party, me and my friends were always meeting up to work on choreography. So no, you know what I mean? Like, it's a positive thing that you're doing as a group and you're working towards a date where you're going to present this thing to a group of people.
Right.
It's these simple things that we did. And now it's like, now I'm on my phone. Now I'm scrolling TikTok. Now I'm on Instagram. Now I'm on YouTube. But it's like, if our parents did this shit when we was kids, we wouldn't have had anything that we have. None of it. So I don't know. I feel like we like Mr. Walker said, we have to do a better job of everybody coming together more and staying away from that negativity. Like, not letting it. What's that thing? Like, don't let the negativity just run in the background. Don't be so passive about it. Bro, if you hear Sexy Red, change the station. Like, I'm changing the stations, y'all.
I can't deal with that girl. I'm not a fan. I'm sorry.
It's just the whole energy of her. It's the
Yeah.
Tekashi 6ix9ine. It's the Sexy Red. It's the Ice Spice. It's the Lil Nas X. It's the Lil Uzi Vert. It's the fucking weirdos
They
everywhere.
all sound
Why
the
y'all so
same.
weird?
They
But
all
then quiet as a cat. Drake co-signed all of these people. So really, Drake is like this weird aberration of a man that's like, it's not that, but he's the coolest looking man, so everybody's doing that, and then everybody's depressed. So why follow the Drake method?
like to this day,
I'm really happy for the conversation.
like to this day, I still listen to smooth jazz. I'm listening to it now.
Bro,
Sometimes
I listen to Motown. Motown's greatest hits all the
I
time.
still listen to all this stuff. I have my mom's playlist in my phone because when she gets in the car, she don't want to hear none of our music. As I've gotten older, I'm listening to her
I don't want to hear it.
because I'm so tired of our dry ass music talking about the same shit about twerking on the stage.
Shelly, you turn on 97?
The same song over and over. I'm so
I don't know about
tired.
everybody, but I know I grew up off of 107.5's
WBLS.
Quiet Storm.
We
Okay?
still listening to
Quiet Storm.
107.5. We
Yes.
still
Tell you
listening to
something.
WBLS.
Yes, all of that.
That was the best.
Lookouts.
Okay?
Lookouts,
Okay?
right? Like certain
And then
songs.
like, you don't have to play with your kids because there's other kids to play with your kids. We wouldn't be as tired as we are right now.
Going to
We
FDR Park.
guys,
and actually,
we
like,
wouldn't even be as tired as we are right now if we just came together. Like, all right, let's pick a night this week. Who's gonna do the cooking? Who's gonna watch the kids? Who's gonna do that? And everybody take their piece, and that night everybody gets to enjoy themselves. And nobody got to do barely anything.
I also want to say this to y'all. I also want to say this to y'all. Y'all have actually that you have too. Some of the men that you women know, I think that you should, like, yo, reach out to them. Like, yo, I need your presence at this whatever, because you are this type of guy and kids need to see it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. 1000% agree.
Like, and if they come, they don't kind of know what time they on. You know what I mean? Yo, listen, every grown man would love to share his story, especially if you've been through some shit. Like, yo, to see a man that has grown up and actually went, like, a motherfucker that's not a liar, and you could fact check, like, check his resume, ask questions, and see, like, yo, this dude really been through some shit, and to see where he is now, like, you gotta actually put those type of men around younger dudes that's still trying to find themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Well, this conversation is gonna continue because I'm gonna do one for Father's Day. Father's Day is next month, and I want all the fathers. Well, you know, me and Amanda are a mom, so we're on here too. So it doesn't matter. You can be a father. You don't have to be a father. You could be a godfather. It doesn't matter, uncle. So I want the conversation with the guys too because I want to hear what the guys got to say. Like, don't be quiet. Don't be shy now. We're asking you. Y'all ask for grown women to ask y'all real shit. Now we're asking y'all real shit. And it doesn't have to be us going head to head with each other. It doesn't have to be a arguing. It doesn't have to be any of that. It's just we have questions and we want to know. Like, what are y'all thinking? What's going on? So, somebody said, people been writing in this chat while this whole time we've been talking. I haven't been saying nothing. Someone said, I grew up listening to DMX, Biggie, Tupac, Mace, etc. That don't mean my parents let me live reckless. Heavily disagree with the Drake take.
Well, the Drake take is for the newer generation. What I was saying as far as, like, first of all, you see, like, kids follow kids actually follow what they see, rappers and things like that, right? So Drake being the biggest rap artist in the world, if he's talking about threesomes and that
popping pills,
Drake is confusing.
flying girls out.
Yeah, Drake is confusing because on some records, he be talking that gangster shit, but we clearly know that you're
not outside.
Yeah, like
not Mr. Degrassi.
Right.
Like, come on now. Not that's my nigger. Like,
with the PR.
Listen, but young kids are actually following some of this shit. And you, I don't know who actually wrote that, but you can't front. Like, some young kids are following the things that rappers are talking about. They actually are. So it's not a, like, I care less, but I'm just using him as like the poster child for some of the bullshit. Like, women are saying sexy red and all these other, like, yo, if you watch Instagram, some of the babies are singing that shit.
Yep.
And that's crazy to me. How many times did you play it for them?
A million.
How many times did you play it?
Because they're in the back talking about, get it sexy,
Sexy.
get it sexy, get it sexy. Like, would you tell that nigga to sit down?
Yeah.
Nah, that Drake take is distracting. Shit.
But why do you heavily disagree with the Drake take, V? I'm asking him on here. No. I'm asking him who asked. Vic, why do you disagree on it? Because some people do say that, but it's just like what you said earlier, Catherine, how like people are coming at Kendrick for being a man and saying
that Drake barely speaks that gangster shit.
He be a womanizer, but the gangster life isn't his line.
Yeah, remember? Well, I remember one line off the top of my head. The Suwu shit, the Blues Clues, and all of that Crip blood. Like, he was, Wayne's coming in the studio, so let me change it to Blue. Like, yo, and then like he said something about dropping the bag, but he don't want to bail his people out. He talks that shit.
He does, and you're not outside, and he doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't know what he's talking about. It's the smallest nuances in what he says that's like, you don't understand Black culture. You don't know what's happening over here. But one of my coworkers is a white guy. He came up to me today at work and he said, "Hey, what's the deal with Drake? What's going on with Drake? Because this white man doesn't know anything other than Drake," which I'm not surprised about. It's the reason Drake exists. They created a rapper for white children. The reason Drake exists. So he's like, "What's the problem? Why is everyone mad at Drake?" And I said, it's not that anyone's mad at Drake. Right now, we're having a conversation about Black culture and how Black culture has gone off the rails. And some way, somehow, we have lost the opinion of our children when it comes to what Black culture is. So, like we said earlier, Kendrick and Russell, who's with Ciara, Kendrick literally writes music about growing up as a Black man. When Kendrick makes music, I know that I'm listening to a man in his 30s. At a point, they said Fabulous looked like he'd been trying to be 25 for 15 years straight. Drake is the new Fabulous. You've been trying to be 25 for 15 years. You're not.
Jim Jones too. Some of that shit that Jim Jones wear, I'd be like, dog, like, come on.
No. Y'all niggas, y'all look so goofy. You're too old. Even me, there be outfits I put on today as a 35-year-old woman. I put on an outfit and I'll be like, this is not, good night, here. This is not an outfit for me anymore. I don't think I should be in this anymore. But Drake don't feel that. Jim Jones don't feel that. Fab don't feel that. There's men that we're watching that just don't feel that way. They're just gonna go on forever.
But to say one last thing about this is, yo, if your kid is following the direction of a rapper, entertainer, I'm holding you accountable.